Check it. Check
Welcome to PUBG Mobile V 4.0's new mode, Unfail. As a survivor, you have but one goal. Escape. Work with teammates to activate the terminals. To open the exit gates. The survivors win when over half of them escape. The power plant is divided into 4 areas. There are 2 terminals in each area. Activate any 5 terminals to unlock the exit gate. During activation, successfully tap the button on the left to increase the activation progress. Activate a terminal to gain helpful items. But remember, your location will be exposed to the predator when activating terminals. If you see the heartbeat, that means the predator is nearby and it's time to move. At the start of the match, you'll receive a random skill and a stun gun. Each skill has its own unique effect, including increasing movement speed, distracting enemies, speeding up activation, and rescuing teammates. In addition to skills, the map is also filled with interactables and special items. They're your secret weapon for causing chaos and distracting the predator. Attacking the predator with firearms will fill its stun bar. When the stun bar is full or a weak point is destroyed, the predator will be stunned, giving your team time to get away and activate terminals. Survivors collectively have 2 respawn chances. At 6 minutes into a match, or if all respawn chances have been used, respawning will no longer be available. When this happens, an exit portal will appear at a random location, until there is only 1 survivor left. Once 5 terminals are activated, the exit gate will open. Use it to escape. When your team is full, prioritize escaping together through the exit gate to win. Survivors, remember to never stop moving. Victory is in sight.
Chicken killer, 삼계탕 dinner.
I raised my shield to stay alive, but the hurt still rained down from the sky. Now I got a tattered soul, but still I fight. Two gun ghost rays left foes behind, yet through misshapes still stalked my mind. My perfect form fears tire marks, but nothing stops my forward sparks. Too light, I risk it all. A stupid thing may call. Too light, I risk it all. No surprise can block my will to rise. Too light, I'll risk it all.
iSteady V3 Ultra unlocks touch filming. A simple double tap starts AI tracking. With AI live feed, what you film is what you see. Frame yourself on the remote. You can shoot videos all on your own. Pull up the extension pole and get everyone in the shot effortlessly. iSteady V3 Ultra. Your touch, your moment.
I press buttons and things I shouldn't have pressed. It happens. I restarted my entire PC because I muted my microphone. I only realized that after I hit the restart button. Okay, so I'm having a blonde day. It is what it is, but welcome to the Campus Championship. It is going to be the finals here for North America, the full split in 2025. And of course, we are going to be getting into 2 exciting days of gameplay to see who are going to be sitting at the top of the board, who's going to be walking away with the most points, and of course, who's going to be getting that lion's share of the prize pool. My name's DK, that's Neptura, and we are going to be taking you through the action, and it helps if I point the right way. There we go. There she is. Nep, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, DK. I'm just so happy it wasn't me muting my microphone this time around. It's always me. But yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah. I'm very excited to get into tonight's finals because 4 games only. I was reading the file and I was like, oh, there's only 4 games. That's not a lot of time for these teams to do what they need to do. So I am very excited to see what that's going to bring out in them.
Hopefully not too much stress, right? You want to see these teams bring some pretty good gameplay to the battlefield. So based on what we've already seen come through from the semifinals, I do believe that it's going to be quite an exciting day, as we've seen, of course, over the seasons, the teams really bringing in quite a bit of a contribution with regards to the chaos. I mean, we did see, of course, several teams looking to just keep on pushing through, right? We did see Middlesex County come through. I believe it was on Erangel. They had a 15 elimination winner chicken dinner. Algoma got a 14 elimination chicken dinner over on Miramar. On Sanok, we had Canada West coming through with a very fat goose, 17 elims. And Rondo, of course, we saw 23 elim finish going over to Canada West as well. So some exciting things here, but of course, speaking about the excitement, we'd love to hear who you are excited for to win, as we are going to be taking a look at the social media tags right here. So be sure to hit us up. There you can see we got X or Twitter, whichever one you want to call it. We have Instagram as well as YouTube, where you're hopefully watching this, as well as the Discord server right there. So if you want to find out about more events happening in the North America scene, head over to the official PUBG.
Do it. Do it now. I mean, we're already seeing a couple of people also in chat as well, if that's how you want to be with us a little bit more directly, right? You know, there is chat. We are watching y'all. So come shout out your favorite team here. Shout out who you're supporting over these next 2 days.
Yeah, we love to hear that. But of course, we're also going to take a look at that prize pool breakdown. I mentioned it, and here we have it yet again. It is going to be looking at like quite a bit of a lion's share breakdown here, right? That first place is going to be worth a glorious 6K. Then we have 4K going for second, and it makes its way all the way down to 500 that goes for 5th place. So that's definitely the slots that you want to be in, right? The better slot, obviously, is going to be the one at the top, right? First pole position. That is the one with the highest share. But hey, anywhere between first and fifth place is going to be a decent place to find yourself. And of course, a few bragging rights to go with it.
Yeah, of course, right? We don't have last season's winners here with us this evening, so we are guaranteed a brand new team to be coming in and grabbing one of those slots in the prize pool, right? So very exciting stuff to see here. So, you know, here are our teams over here, and one of these teams we will be crowning as our top 5, well, crowning as our champion, and then the rest as our top 5 as well. So we saw some great stuff from them in the previous evening that we had for these teams, and I think that coming into the finals, I mean, can they bring even more? Because we saw some great plays from them. I'm hoping we can see more. And I think it would be really, really interesting to actually see what tricks are up their sleeves, how they're actually going to improve on last week, and yeah, just see how they get going. Is that promise of the prize pool, or the more immediate prize pool, going to do something to them?
I mean, it could be one of two things, right? Either tricks or treats. One of those two things, that is what they will have up their sleeves for us here, seeing, of course, that it was Halloween just yesterday. So, yeah, excited to see what the teams are going to be bringing in. We do have Canada West over there as well, and as we know, in the Canada West team, there's this one particular player that also happened to be an MVP, who is a Cookie to come through.
Cookie!
But you know what, speaking about Cookie and all the exciting things that we've seen, also we got to give a big shout out to what you can see appearing on the screen there as well. That is the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. It delivers ultra smooth shots with advanced stabilization. Yes, which you also point the wrong way. It's got full 360 rotation. It's got smart AI tracking. It's perfect for creators who want professional quality footage anytime, anywhere, and also who like that little pop-out screen. Like, I think that is an amazing feature. It looks so epic. We did see a little bit of that in the trailer as well. So yeah, if you're curious to grab one of those, down in the chat, that's where, down in the description, or the chat, I guess, right? That's where you can find a link to that. So go ahead and go grab yourself one of those if you're into gadgets and you need one, because I think you need the gadget. So go for it.
Yeah, why not? I love gadgets myself. I will definitely be looking into it and seeing if I can use it in some way, because it is cool. The pop-out screen is pretty awesome, as you said. So yeah, I like that. I like that feature a lot. I could do some cool stuff with it. We'll see. But can these teams rather, do some cool stuff in game? Because we're getting close now, DK. Do you have any predictions? Are you looking at any teams?
I am looking at teams, a whole list of them. But the big question is going to be who will be the ones to do it, right? That has got me curious. Well, so based on what we've seen, right, MVP, MVT, Canada West, they were the MVT, right, with 39 eliminations and a big bucket full of damage. So based on that, they should be performing exceptionally well coming into today, coming into the finals. But of course, as we know, we do have a few other squads in here that they've been around here a few times, right? They kind of know the ins and the outs. They know all the secret little hidey spots when it comes to these maps. So I want to see what the response will be. And of course, another exciting bit is going to be our map rotation as well. So I think the teams will definitely be served with quite a few golden opportunities to really showcase all the talent they have. And I think, as per usual, we are going to be heading into where we normally go, right? We are going to be heading over into Erangel, after which we'll be hopping into a little bit of that Miramar action, a bit of Sandhawk, and then we sprinkle a little bit of a Rondo on top as well. There we see it on the screen. In case my sprinkle wasn't nice enough, there we have the actual pictures of what the maps look like.
I'm so excited that we get this rotation, that Sandhawk is still with us, and so we actually get 4 maps in a competitive lobby. I love that. That's such an interesting way to do things, and it just means that Sandhawk is not entirely gone from our lives, because I do love a good Sandhawk. So we'll see how these teams react to this rotation. We did have it in the league stage. We are going to be having it again tonight. And for the first game, right, for Erangel, it was actually, looks to be Middlesex County was doing the best that of all the teams over in Erangel. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the table coming into the first game of the night, right? We only have 4 games tonight and tomorrow. You are looking at only 2 Erangels. So if that's your best map, then you've got to be very, very good at getting those eliminations, getting those points in the first game of the night, and that could be a challenge.
Yeah. And speaking about challenge, we have a Mexican team that made it into the finals. Right,
we do.
It's good to see the addition of the Mexican squads joining us for this season. So it is very exciting to have all the way into the finals itself. So I believe it is ITSV, right, that have been able to secure the required amount of points to make it in there. So yeah, we are going to be having a little bit of a look at them to see, can they step it up? Can they hold that flow? Of course, if you look at a bit of a breakdown from what they did over those maps as well, I mean, it looks interesting, right? I definitely would say that Miramar is probably currently the strongest map just out of the 4 that we've seen them play through. So I want to see, can they maybe bring a little bit of that when it comes to Erangel? There are some similarities between those 2 maps, of course, right? The first similarity is, well, they're both in PUBG. I think that's the most important similarity. But other than that, yeah, I want to see how they are going to look to just kind of play through it and see who's going to be the one to lock it in. But also, if you remember, the last time we saw them, Erangel, yeah, there was only one player, Ralo, was the one to get all those elims, right? Just cramming everything they had into that. So, yeah, I want to see a little bit of a spread maybe be the play here for today.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a little bit more support, a little bit more of the sharing of the load amongst all 4 players, right? And if they can just get that to work, then yeah, there's no reason why they can't be a top team here tonight. We did see some cool stuff from them in the league stage. So yeah, we just want to see a little bit more of shifting of the weight off of just one player. And that could be said for a couple of the teams as well that we saw. There were a few standout players that the teams just kind of let do their thing. And it's like, okay, well, we are a team here. It's a squad-based game, so we'd like to see just a little bit more of that workload spread amongst the 4 players. If they can do that, then we have an excellent game, or excellent night on our hands for sure, because that's going to add a challenge to some of the teams that are already doing that. If those teams that just squeaked in can improve and do what they need to do, have a better day today, then the top teams are going to have a run for their money.
Oh yes, they definitely are. I mean, I think especially with southeastern Louisiana and Canada West coming in there as well, right? They've been performing quite well, especially Spidey. Spidey coming through with those 14 eliminations, and we did see Cookie also then bagging 17 eliminations as well. So it's going to be exciting. But speaking about excitement, let's hop into the map. Let's see who's going to be cooking up a storm, who's going to be doing what, where, when, and why.
Let's do it. Let's see indeed. And you know, in league stage we actually had some really tough zones coming into certainly a wrangle. I wonder if it's going to be more lenient today, right? Because we did have some really hard shifts last time. It was not easy for a lot of these teams, but here we go. Let's see where the playing path is going to be putting us. At the moment, not too bad. I mean, teams that like to land on the west side are going to have a little bit of a problem, but it's a wrangle. We're used to this. It's fine. The real question is where, well, the real question is, number 1, are we going to have hot drops? Number 2, where's that zone going to go? But are we going to have hot drops, DK? Because we did have a couple last time. Is it still going to happen?
I hope so, because I mean, we might not have hat drops, but definitely the opportunity for a little bit of that hot drop spice to come sprinkling on through. It seems today that I'm stuck on the sprinkles, so we'll keep with that. Cooking up a storm in the kitchen, I guess it is. But now, who's going to be the ones to bring it to the battleground here? The angle's already looking occupied as a nice push over on towards that western side, right? Just a continuous. Nobody really going over towards the Lipovka. Now, Malta itself might maybe receive a team, but there's a lot of ways over on towards that eastern side. Yasnaya Poliana already having popping right in there. Love to see it, and it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be sweaty, and it's gonna be crazy because the Zord is all the way down.
Oh my, yeah, we also have a little bit of a hot drop, or at least a clash going over onto Rozhawk as well, so something we have to really keep an eye on. Over down by Pachinki as well, 3 teams in close proximity, although not exactly on the same side. I do want to say that who is that all the way down to the south side? YIC. They definitely had the right idea because they are very much in zone. They are going to be happy campers for the next couple of matches, or next couple of phases.
Yeah, because why not, right? I
Yeah.
was gonna think about matches, but yeah,
No,
we'll
it's
we'll
fine.
leave it there. We'll leave it there.
Thank you.
In the meantime, we are gonna be looking at the if anybody's gonna maybe start to rotate up. You were talking about something up in Slovenia here as well. And it is gonna be an interesting angle to try and contest here, but a quick little cheeky push ahead as Al Pacino comes and they find that the hits in. It is okay, but why? They get taken right on down. So one down, a few more to go. But it's still going to be a long play to have it. At least teams are starting us off with, I'd say, some decent pacing, right? Not overly aggressive, but also, you know, not necessarily keeping it passive. They are making sure that they, at least for the time being, hold on to the compounds.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate this from them, actually. This is looking really, really nice. You're right, because they are getting that action in. They are saying, hey, we want to be really aggressive, but they're not being stupid about it. They're just playing it carefully. They're playing as a team, and they're just trying to make sure they get as much information as possible. So I really do appreciate them for that, rather. So we will see how that is going to be going for them. You do see Middlesex County just moving around, trying to get a better angle here over in Yasnaya. Just under a kilometer from the circle. So they got a ways to go. So they do need to be careful if they got to reconsider, I think, if they really want to take this fight, because this fight is going to take a while. The split that they've got, the amount of space that they have, it is going to be a little bit more difficult. So we will see if they're really going to be doing this or not. And we do hear some shots. Shots have been fired, so it does look like they're going to try and get this. Red River having a nice little off angle. Ooh, okay, so we do have a smoke road trying to cross here. I can't decide if that's for their solo player on the other side of the road or it's for them. It looks like it's going to be for them. This is interesting. They are going to be pushing forward, but that's going to be a really good spray coming in here. This off angle is being very dangerous indeed. They do get the one. He gets two. And that's going to make it well worth their while. The rest of the players now have to do something. They're too far away to help. And actually, that's not bad from them. A really nice quick cleanup there. 1v2 with the DBS. Going to be doing what they need to do. And so that's going to be Red River having to move on out of here. Who else is going to be the first to fall here? No one just yet, it seems. I think a lot of teams have just moved. They've seen that zone, trying to move and do their own thing here. No one else is really clashing, it seems like. So we are going to be seeing a little bit of a quiet spell. Let's see. Nades being chucked here. Lexus does not want to let this player go. They have him in their clutches. Going as a solo is difficult. Is this really what you want to do? I mean, they've pushed back across the road to try and get this player. They really do want to make sure that this squad is eliminated 100%. Oh, but up top. Oh! That's a... Whose was that? I don't know whose that was. No matter. It is going to allow them to maybe... Oh! What? Hang on a second. How did he get that shot from the cancel to the headshot? Instant! Oh, but he's not going to be so successful the next time. And that's going to be them, I think, getting flushed away here, quite possibly. But the teammates to the rescue. And that is going to be Red River taken on out here. And a full reset coming on through. Crazy headshot coming through there from one of those players trying to get that res, but some good teamwork as well. That's what we were wanting to see. What me and DK were talking about at the beginning is wanting that teamwork, wanting to see that come through here. Very good stuff indeed. The circle now will be coming on through. We did also see Alabama go on out, so that's going to be them out for the rest of this game. And we're just going to try and see how these teams are going to resolve the clashes that is inevitably going to happen over onto the edge of the circle now, because a lot of teams coming in from those same areas. Primos, for instance. Looks like there's 3 teams here, potentially. Oh, and a hovercraft is being used. Yeah, Seneca B with the hovercraft. Oh. Algoma in the middle of a fiery encounter here. Who is that against? I can't even see right now. Let's see. R20 is the name of the game. Spower trying to exchange nades. That nade could be excellent. Yes, it is. Down it goes. There we go. Jet, the next up at the chopping block. Another great nade. Just bounces a little too much. That's going to be not as useful. Does grab him with the S12K, even though he's a quarter health, and that's Alabama A out. Both Alabamas now out of this match entirely. Algoma able to pick up 3 eliminations there. Really, really good stuff. Some good eliminations coming on through. Middlesex County with 4, Algoma with 3, Vancouver with 2, Middlesex County A with 1, Kent State with 1 as well. Plenty of teams without elims, but the night is young. The game is early. 9 minutes in, so we've had a lot of action actually for for stage 2 just coming in now though, as Seneca B move on through Primorsk in that blue zone. They do need to be going somewhere quite soon. They're 1,800 meters from the zone, and they're above, that's over water, so the one thing they cannot do is get the hovercraft stuck. That would be an absolute nightmare, because now you've got to use vehicles, now you've got to get across the bridge. Yeah, but they don't stick it. It's fine. Everything's fine, and they really do need to get across as soon as possible. ITSV, the only Mexican team in the lobby here, gonna be just chilling over on the beach where we just saw them as we move over to Arkansas State. Just 1 solo left alive. Chow Chow. Just waiting for that team to leave. Waiting for Seneca B to get out of Dodge here. I am curious about Seneca B actually, because what are they doing? It looks like they're opting for a buggy crossing as well as a hovercraft rather than an all 4 in the hovercraft, but I really don't think, DK, that they really have the time to be thinking about this. I would have thought they'd just go all 4 in the hovercraft, get to zone as soon as possible, because there's a long way to go.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the play is here. I mean, maybe they're trying something different out. I mean, for Arkansas State, I can understand. Yes, they've got a solo, right? But for the other squad they have here, it doesn't make too much sense to spend so much time out in this blue. Yes, it's only phase number 2, so it's not going to be doing too much damage to them. But ideally, I think you still want to see them, you know, you would still like to try and, at least to some extent, try and prioritize that zone positioning. So, you know, you don't have to sit there and all your meds and everything all at the same time. So maybe there still will be an opportunity here for Arkansas to close this one out, to get a few additional eliminations in the bag as well. But yeah, who knows? They still have a long way to go, 2.5 kilometers to get back into that safe area.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a tricky crossing, because now you've allowed a lot of teams to actually move on over. So as the moments pass, you are making that trip a lot harder for yourself. And there you go, play zone. All all 13. He's gonna be gone. He's gonna be out to the blue zone, and they lose a player unnecessarily because of how long they spent in that blue zone. So that is unfortunate. Lesson learned, perhaps. We'll see them do a little bit better next time. But Middlesex County, they are ones that are not in the blue zone. As we look now at stage number 3, and it looks like the zone's actually shifted to the mainland here, which could be disastrous for some of the teams on the island.
It is going to be a pretty tough play here. I mean, you're going to have to quickly try and reshuffle or regain a little bit of that territory, get your foot back in the door, and while doing so, still try and secure yourself a decent compound along the way. But Portage, I think this is a decent setup here, very close to the edge of zone, so they don't have to push too far in, but it will also allow them a little bit of an opportunity if other teams are struggling on through here. As we can see, of course, Seneca up on the hillside there, looking for something. Just try a little bit of info before they push up, before they commit. But the same approach is going to be happening aboard, right? The teams know they have no information at this point. They're going to have to be very selective with how they play through these rotations.
Selective is a great word to use, I think, because that is exactly what these teams have to do, as Fury is being very selective with what shots he takes here. Oh, and he does go ahead and take her. I thought he wasn't going to, but KPR will... Oh, he found... Oh, my word. Fury got saved by the bell there, because that player just came out of the buggy and got knocked because he jumped out too soon. He knocked himself, and that has saved Fury's skin here, giving him a free point in the meantime. He is now in the blue zone, but I think those teams have other things to worry about than watching this one solo here, but Fury does not care. He will go out to zone if he has to secure those eliminations. Goodness me, KPR not having a great time, it would seem. Just trying to get somewhere here, and now you can see why they did not go across the water. It has definitely gone up to the mainland, so that's all they were trying to do, but this hovercraft still being useful on the land as well. Dong just staying behind this hovercraft, tanking all that damage for him. But he's just a solo now. What happened to Seneca B? It was not... This is not the team that we saw in Primorsk. This is... It was full squad in Primorsk, and now it's a solo all of a sudden. Arkansas State are no longer. They're going to go out in 13th place here. But I'm just really surprised with Seneca B here.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting engagement to see, but Dong getting the ding hit right into them as the blue gets the better. It is out the way. That is now Seneca B getting wrapped up. Seneca A having a bit of an opportunity to try and what they can with the 3 remaining hopefuls. They're not going to expend the HP to bring Fury back into the fight. So a valiant effort being brought through there by them. But in the meantime, we are going to move a little bit further upwards and onwards, as we can see even more of a position now being held again on the edge of zone. He's pretty committed to trying to hold on to anything they can find. Canada West also starting to move up from that more western. Again, a lot of caution being brought through here.
Yeah, so cautious with these teams, and it being the first map of the day, you can understand that, right? That they're just going, okay, we just need to make sure we do what we're doing, get all the information necessary, not be too reckless, because we don't know really how these teams are going to be playing, but there are teams that are, at the same time, just have to make a run for it, because there's no way you can hold up on this side of the zone, as we see Punk defending against UCW. Vicious goes down very, very quickly there. Seneca A able to hold down the fort just a little bit here. Middlesex County need to be moving in now. The zone has moved away from them, but where can they go? Because it's so open here. So many teams in front of them. Iman, he's going to try and do something, try to carve out a little piece of the zone for themselves. He's found a dip. There is a lot of cover here on this side. They are aware that there's a team over there, which will be helpful for them. But it looks like actually he's found a little bit of something that they can use. And now, DK, we do see the zone moving on over to the mainland, 110%. A lot of water still in play here, but this is a really difficult area. There's a lot of lowland. It's very open. There's not a whole lot of movement available to these teams, especially when you see that team H over onto those cliff sides. I mean, the amount of overlook they have that is still in zone is crazy.
But it's not often that we see this portion of the zone itself necessarily in that playable area. So I think already for the teams, this could maybe bring in an extra pressure point, especially looking as to the situation we have up in that center zone as well. So I'm quite a lot of sweaty plays that are going to be making their way into these next few phases here. But of course, it is going to be full send now as Ninja pushes up, looking for the plays here. It is going to be Banker on the defending side, looking down this warehouse. They want to bring their players back into the fight to have as possible odds while moving forward. But again, right, the pressure is going to be on here. Now, can we see everything? Can Kent State maybe bring in a few surprises as well? Jason has been found. Oh, Ruthless just looking that nade in the eye, saying, not today, not today.
They're looking.
Riding along the edge, and down they go. The hits are in, and that is it. Kent State out of here. But now, Vancouver, they have quite a bit of pressure on their shoulder, right? Can they up and kind of rebuild and move forward further into this match?
Yeah, it's very difficult to have such a strong position and having to move down because these teams know exactly where you are. You've been looking, they've been watching you look at them for a very long time, just like you should be watching this airdrop coming on down. Watch the chicken. Go across the screen, go back across the screen. He's gonna do a little something here, and boom! There is a code for you. First come, first serve. Go grab your Amazon $5 gift card right now. And you can pause the stream and go back to it as long as you come back to us in a few moments. Just go ahead and grab that code while you still can. First come, first serve. So if you can't access it, it's because it's already used. Alrighty. Oh, UCW, man, they're in a tough spot because everybody knows exactly where they are with that smoke. Godless looking at them, but Godless have their own problems. Spidey as well, they gotta get going. SLU, so Southeastern Louisiana, they gotta be on their way into zone. They don't have time to be finding any more eliminations.
Yep, and this is also now a bit of an opportunity here for Middlesex County to see what they can bring in. A quick little bit of a body work being done here to bring the vehicle back into full form yet again, so they have that support to rotate out of there. Not quite sure if they are going to be able to bring Nobi into the fight, though. Steel's still looking pretty tough now, as Canada West are going to be losing one hit, and that is it. All they needed to take that quick ticket on back. Spear and the rest of the team still going to be trying to now play for position. A quick little bit of a pick-me-up to get their teammate in the zone. Meanwhile, it is going to be Southeastern Alabama coming through with the hits here. Sahu hitting it up, trying to make that vehicle take as much damage as it can. Maybe even looking to send it up in flames. And I mean, that'd be good if there were players next to it. But as we could see, of course, you know, the rotations had already been secured.
Oh, yeah. SLU having a tough time coming down off of that mountain, as we said earlier. Just not being able to recover from that cliff drop. So we'll see what goes down in the south side of the zone. Meanwhile, we are over at Middlesex County B here. Pasha Bay, Middlesex County A actually going to be moving on over here, and Godless gets run on over by 4K there. Done, dusted. Middlesex County A definitely deciding that this is their spot. They're going to be taking it for themselves. Southeastern Louisiana just have to say okay and get back to lobby. As Vancouver CC having a little bit of a tough time. Sinner with the 4 elims is their knocked player right now, right underneath the noses of 4K here. So they're going to have a bit of a talk about how they can get him back. But 12 eliminations for this team so far, DK, is a really, really good start to the evening.
Yeah, I just realized I called Louisiana Alabama, but hey, you know what? maybe I knew something without even knowing it myself. We'll see soon enough. But yeah, now for Vancouver, this is going to be an important position here. I like the fact that Defender has a P90. I mean, that is definitely the way to go. That is going to help alleviate a lot of the pressure that they are having right here. But it does seem like Vancouver, they've been able to kind of keep a good consistency going here. 12 eliminations up. That is going to bode quite well for them. But now the big question is, what will Middlesex County A and B do here? Are they going to be able to kind of reclaim a little bit of territory? You can see Nobi also just trying to hold up with the team. Everybody is just trying to hold out as best they can. At least we do see pretty much all the squads already situated within the zone, so we don't have to be too phased about that. But it's going to be Ralo now feeling the sting there as the shots are going to find the knock onto them. Meanwhile, Al Pacino and the remainder here of Middlesex are still going to be holding onto the edge of that zone, still holding on with 3 players. Can they maybe find a way to get into those warehouses? Of course, it is going to rely quite heavily on what the next zone pop is going to be bringing on through. Meanwhile, ITSV, again, just getting caught in such a difficult position on that far eastern side of the zone.
And once again, it is Vancouver who has all the control here. A big spread to the south side. They have the only real compound in zone right now. And all these other teams are having to fend for themselves over to the edges of the zone, and they're just picking up stray knocks where they can grab them. I mean, look at this. Lexus in full view here, goes down low. Defender unable to actually grab an elim out of that, but still just making their presence known, making it much more difficult for these teams to actually play their game as well, which could have disastrous consequences on the rest of the lobby and be very, very good indeed for Vancouver. So let's see how they can get that done and dusted as we look at Coquetlem. 3 players remaining, 2 elims on the board for them, as it looks like they're going to be crashed on into here, as there's another small building you can't really see here in zone as well. It's not outside of zone, it's actually in zone. And we will see how that goes, because again, you still have Vancouver, you still have Defender having a perfect view of this compound, right? So 3 teams here is going to be very, very difficult for any of those 3 teams to do anything.
Yeah, and I mean that's the whole situation they have to kind of deal with here, is if that zone is going to stay in this vicinity, it is going to become increasingly more challenging for the other teams to get a decent, secure angle. But I mean, we've got 3 teams in the compounds, 3 teams outside of the compound, so it is going to be a survival of the fittest here, as Coquetlam is going to lose Shikari. The nade comes through. But what will the response be from Senpai and the rest of the team? Can we see those angles now being utilized? Up comes Defender trying to play a little bit of that elevation, but unfortunately not connecting too many of those shots.
Yeah, difficult to really try and get anything done. There's so many walls in the way, etc. So sometimes you can't quite see, especially with all those smokes. They're going to do their best to make it really, really difficult for these teams, and he's on the stairs! Oh, really good stuff from Senpai there, just able to grab that elimination through the smoke. Oh! Was that a nade elim? The double elim there? I think it might have been. MYM go on down. That's going to be the end of their road here. They tried to push. It was unsuccessful. Now we move over to the other side of zone. Middlesex County A going to be doing something as well over onto the edges here. Still having a look over there at Seneca A. Punk just chilling in his little spot. But they're not really able to do much about it. And Defender has a beautiful position inside zone. I mean, depending on how long the zone is going to keep this going, I mean, this could be a game-winning position here from Defender. And if you look at those elims, they each have 4 eliminations. There's only 3 left alive, but 4 elims each to make 16 total. Top 5 for them. Domination for sure. Coming in here, Punk. Gotta be very careful, goes down very low, and he might just go out to blue here. He might just deny that point. He knows there's no way he can get out of here. Never mind, he's going to give that point all the way over to YIC, actually. So that's going to be stolen away from 4K here. Oh, wait, there's 2 down. Wait, hang on. DK, Iman is only left in a buggy. He's going to go and try and grab his teammate here, but God is on to that. Yeah, he's on to it. Everybody's on to it. Vancouver gonna be moving on through, grabbing one more. Oh, but he's been spotted. He has been spotted from that compound as well. Iman does go down. Middlesex County A going on out here. Vancouver cleaning up shop here. Defender cannot go down. He cannot go down. If he goes down, I think it's game over for Vancouver right now, just because these two teams now have their positions in a compound. They are safe. So if Defender goes down here, that's game over for Vancouver.
It's going to be a pretty tough one to kind of respond against, right? So whatever Portage is going to try and do here, they're going to have to be super clean and concise with it, because again, it is not going to be the easiest position to try and leverage. But I do see the position for Defenders slowly starting to run out, as we know that blue is closing up. So within the next 15 seconds, Defender will either have to try and just tank all the damage, which we know is not necessarily going to be a thing, or they will all have to try and reposition. But so far, Vancouver, they've been doing a really, really good job here. They've been leading the lobby with the most eliminations to this point. But can they bring it all back together? It is going to be Vancouver now continuing to push on up here. It is 19 eliminations. Nep, this is an absolute crazy performance. Look at Portage. They've got 2 eliminations in comparison. So if anyone potentially maybe has this in the bag, it has to be Vancouver.
It has to be, right? And I love the approach that they're taking as well, because they're now actually going ahead and sandwiching Coquetlam between YIC and themselves. They've used this specifically to make it a problem for Coquetlam, make it easier for them to take over this building. And YIC kind of playing into the hand of Vancouver here by also attacking on this side at the same time, rather than leaving them alone and waiting, right? So definitely Vancouver with the big brain strats over here. We will see how that works. How do I pronounce this name? Nmbrdar. There's one vowel in your whole name, sir. How am I supposed to pronounce this? Dar. There you go. That's what you get. Dar. Yeah. Dar is on the overlook.
Maybe number. Maybe number. I don't know.
Oh, it could be number. Yes.
Or a number radar. I don't know. It's something.
Yeah. Something like
that. It's a fill in the gap. We'll call him fill in the gap, because
got it.
That's what the name looks like over here. Now it's going to be Portage starting to push a little bit further forward. We are in stage number 9. That means only blue zone closure. That is what we have. And of course, now the teams furthest away from the center are going to be feeling the blue hurt the first. So now it's all down to who can get the shots in the quickest. As you can see, Portage still holding with 2 players up in the compound as they start to move up. Oh, Coquetlam going to be feeling a big old sting there.
Ooh.
Vancouver fill in the gap, getting taken on down. Portage is going to be the next one out. Now, Coquetlam and Vancouver, the final 2 left to contest for this winner chicken dinner. Young boy trying to tank it out, but unfortunately cannot make it. Vancouver coming in clutch, coming in hot, securing themselves the victory. And I think that they were able to get themselves 20 plus eliminations, right? That's if some kind of math holds true somewhere. Where, I don't know, but the last time we saw, they had 19. They obviously got 1 more elimination right there to bring it up to 20. So an absolutely insane performance going through from Vancouver. Wow, what a day.
Insane stuff from them. I love how they controlled every aspect of this match, of that end game. And it is going to be God coming on through here. 7 eliminations, 1,338 damage. That is over 1,000 damage. Ding, ding, ding. On the first map, we get a bell of 1,000 damage, DK.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great start. You gotta love that, though. I mean, you can ring that bell all the way till next Tuesday, because those 7 eliminations are gonna go a very, very... It's gonna go the distance, right? You can say it that way. Of course, speaking about the distance... Yep, Vancouver got over 20 elims, 21 to be exact. Almost securing themselves 3,300 damage. An absolute insane performance. But you got to give it up to Vancouver CC, right? That was an amazing strategic play coming into the late stage of that game, because they knew exactly where they needed to be safe, to get into the late phase. and then just sit there waiting for to land those last few hits.
Yeah, they played this very, very well. I'm very happy with the strategy they showed, the information gathering that they did. I really, really like how they played that. And it shows up in that scoreboard because look at the gap. 31 from Vancouver to 10 from Coquitlam. The only other team to have a double-digit game here is 10 points, just sneaking into double digits. The rest have 8 and below. So this is the kind of domination we needed to see from any of these teams if they want to do well in this format for the finals. So very, very good show from Vancouver.
Yeah, very, very good indeed. I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, their eliminations is more than the teams in second and third places points, total points combined.
Yes.
Right? So, talk about a flex. That was absolutely ridiculous. But as a result of that, of course, we see quite a few teams going back empty-handed all the way from southeastern Louisiana down to Seneca B. Unfortunately, not a single point for them in this first match of the day. But I think especially moving over into a map like Miramar and, of course, the other maps that we will have rolling in as well, there will be more opportunities for the teams to continue to try and consistently secure as many plays as they can. Canada West, though, yeah, quite surprising. I was expecting maybe a little bit more to come through on that front. But, of course, if we look back on their past performances in the map of Erangel itself, right, Erangel is not necessarily their strong suit. So I want to see what is going to happen once we move into those later games, right? Once we get into something like Miramar, for instance, that is where we know Canada West start performing a little bit better. So I want to see if that is going to be the situation here, right? Will they be able to reclaim a lot of that territory coming back into the second match? Or is something else maybe going to stop them from doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of teams will have their eyes on them now, especially coming into Miramar. So I think Vancouver have to be very, very careful, especially if they want to have a similar game. They got to really, really play very well and very cautiously, I think, DK. But we'll see.
Yeah, the pressure is going to be on, especially with a 31 bomb getting dropped. That was a pretty crazy play. I mean, I think that's probably the most ridiculous performance from a team that we've seen so far in the Campus Championship. But on that one, of course, we are going to get ourselves ready for match number next. So stay tuned. We'll see you after the break. That was on purpose. But welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to move in to our second match right here. Of course, already we've done and wrapped up the Erangel. Next up, we are going to be heading a little bit closer into Miramar to see what our teams are going to be doing. If you missed it, you missed an pretty insane performance coming through from Vancouver there. I mean, they came in with 21 eliminations, securing themselves 31 points, 21 points more than the team in second place. So absolutely crazy, crazy play. And what a way to start off the first day of the finals. My name's DK. This is Neptura. Over here, over here. She's over there somewhere. I'll eventually get to point in the right direction. And yeah, I mean, we're going to be hopping on through to see what the teams will be bringing to the battlefield. Speaking of battlefields though, Nep, I'm curious, do you think the shining stars from Miramar, from the semis, are going to be looking to shine again? I mean, we did see Algoma perform exceptionally well, right? They got those 14 eliminations the last time we saw them on Miramar. Middlesex County also came through with 13. So I'm curious what is going to happen. But there are other things also for us to hear about. Yeah, something that is more than just a selfie stick. It is the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. It combines a gimbal, a tripod, extension rod, and a full light in one compact device. The full light, if you look on that little picture, you see right at the bottom, at the back end there. Once it's full up, the light's sitting at the top. It's amazing. Now, that gives you everything you need to shoot like a pro. And of course, if you like gadgets, that looks like a pretty cool gadget. So yeah, I think for me, the biggest selling point is the fact that you can pull that little screen out and it becomes a remote, right? That's amazing. I love it. It's cool. I want one.
Yes. It's very cool. I do agree, it's very cool. And that removable screen, the detachable screen, does mean that there's a lot of options that you can be. It's a lot more flexible, right, as a device. So, very cool stuff. Go ahead and grab yours in the description below. As we go over into Miramar, yeah, I think we did see Algoma do some things in that Erangel, and they are top of the leaderboards when it comes to Miramar, so we could see something from them. Middlesex County as well. Seneca A had a long stint in Erangel as well. Seneca A did 10 eliminations in the last Miramar that we had in the league stage, so something definitely that we could be seeing again there. So I do want to, I'm curious, are different teams going to be able to come on through, but is Vancouver going to be able to step it up again? I wonder if that's going to be the case. I'd love for that to be the case just because it's interesting. Just because it gives a little bit of drama to the evening, you know? But yeah, I think they could do something. Especially coming off the back of a 30-point game, right? There's that momentum now.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely will be. And of course, for those who missed it all before we got into our first game of the day, we started on Erangel. We're heading into Miramar, after which we'll be hopping into the jungle to go tie up some shoelaces before heading over into the final map of the day, which is going to be Rondo. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the teams are going to be looking to play their way through that lovely Rondo. And of course, Nip, that's when you can give us your deep dive right into which locations will be the best, where are these teams going to go, and what will that flight path do, who's going to run for the recall stations, and all those other things that could be important. Yeah,
no, I'm very much looking forward to that because Rondo is an epic map and everybody's loving to see it, but that's enough of Rondo. We're not even there yet. We're going over into Miramar. Here we go. The dusty, dusty sands of Miramar. Are there going to be some bold actions? Are Vancouver going to do it again, or is there going to be another team to step up to the plate? We will find all of that out in just a few minutes.
Oh, yes, indeed, we shall, and we are going to be heading straight into that flight path to see where the plane is going to be taking us. So, now that we are done with the presentation part, let's get into the action to see where this map is going to take us. Of course, we are going to be starting in the south, just on the edge there of Bartona, heading all the way up into Campo Militar. So that's going to be an interesting starting point for these squads. I mean, especially if you like to go to El Pozo, Monte Nuevo, or anywhere over on the western side, this flight path is not your friend.
No, it is not. It definitely is not. It's very similar to the Erangel one that we had, but just wildly different maps means that there's really no similarity to be drawn from that other than, oh, it's in the same side of the map, I guess. We will be curious to see, though, DK, are we going to have any hot drops? We did have a couple over on Erangel. Most notably, that's how Red River got eliminated early on, right? So we'll see if there's going to be any sort of movement from them as well. Are they going to be moving away to somewhere a little bit more quiet, a little bit safer for them? We will see. But meanwhile, it does look like a lot of teams actually are sprawled out a little bit. Yes, some are jumping together, but I doubt that's really going to be anything once they hit the ground, right? I think they're going to just split off, do their own thing. You're already seeing it with KPR there. They're just moving, getting to their positions. But the zone goes south. So again, something kind of similar to what we saw in the Erangel in terms of that zone path, that zone to plane path rather, is very, very similar. That ratio is similar. Thankfully though, much bigger map means that actually only like 4 teams are outside of zone right now.
Yeah, I mean, it does make it slightly more comfortable for the teams to get themselves into that looting phase. So what started off to what could have been a potential hot drop up into, I believe that is San Martin or maybe even Hacienda del Patron. Ooh, now it has become a fight for survival. As you can see, Punk and the rest of the crew now trying to hammer it all across the way, trying to land the hits. Can they get it in? We don't quite know just yet, but that is going to be a pretty tough position to play through here, as it's southeastern Louisiana on the opposing side, trying to get themselves up into water treatment. So I like the aggression that Seneca A is showing over here, but can they keep that consistency going?
It's possible. Oh, wait, hang on. Seneca A being very aggressive here. You're barely looted up. What are you doing? Be careful. Well, they know, I guess they know the rest of the other teams are also in a similar state to them. They're going to try and do something. That's a headshot, but Cypher's the first to go. Now there's one more. Okay, No Mercy and Spidey, they do go out. That was the risk they paid. Or that's the price they pay, I guess. Knocking one or getting one knocked on themselves, but they are going to be able to res that on up. So that's going to be 2 down very, very quickly there. 2 points going over to Seneca 8 as Vancouver look to move away from YIC. Again, playing this much more cautiously. They don't have a lot of anything, really. They have no armor. Certainly, Dar doesn't. Tommy gun is a decent weapon to have, but again, no armor, so that's not really going to do much of anything. The problem is there's not a whole lot of cars, so this is a very slow start to their game. It's delaying them so much because they want to move on. They want to get on, possibly go over to Power Grid. They probably know no one's gone there, but there's no vehicles available, so that's definitely something they're going to have to watch out for when it gets into the mid stage of the game. They could find themselves behind other teams.
Yeah, I think that's where Dune Buggy would be amazing, right? But I mean, they could go for that, or maybe a Dust Devil or something, you know, like make something out of it, get that terraforming from Rondo over into Miramar and make yourself a vehicle. There's one, right? See, if you speak about it long enough, one starts to appear. It's like magic, right? Not really, but eventually they do have these 2 wheels to try and make something with. Let's see if that could maybe help them along their way. But yeah, now it's all just down to who's going to be the next team to look for a fight, right? Can we see some aggressive pushing maybe potentially coming in here? But you got to commend the aggression that we saw up in towards the water treatment area. As you can see, still it is the southeastern Louisiana, right? All the way up into water treatment. So they've now reclaimed a little bit of the position for themselves. Seneca instead choosing to go a little bit further west. So interesting decisions being made here. But I like what ITSV have been doing here, right? They've dropped straight into Picado. I think Picado is usually a pretty decent position to go for because most of the time it's in zone.
Right, yeah, it's a very central location, so it does make sense that you would want to claim it, right? The problem with Picado for me, though, is as big of a city as it is, it's actually so hemmed in by both the north side and that east side as well, that it's very, very difficult to get out of because the west and the south are very open, but you've got such dominating high ground to the north and the west, or the east rather, that it means that really you can't get out. There's nowhere to hide on your rotation outside of the city. So it is a very difficult one. I think if you're a team that is happy to kind of stagnate in there and just wait for your turn, then yeah, that's going to be fine. But for a team that might be a little bit more aggressive and want to loot up and get out, Picado, to me, I think you would sacrifice too much just for a central position.
I mean, I guess it depends on where the other teams are situated around you, right?
True.
If it's right in the center of the zone, yeah, I can see what you were saying there about sacrificing for that centralized position. Here it's not quite exactly there, so who knows? We'll see what they do with their position up in Picado, but at least for the time being, we don't really see anybody looking to challenge that angle. Of course, down on towards Los Leones, it might be a little bit different situation, right? It is going to be a Red River there with a little bit of company comes through, rather leaving on that southern side. We can see Kent State also now moving in, looking to greet the squad that has just rotated out. So yeah, they could be in for quite a bit of a hot seat. Monte Nuevo is also going to heat pretty soon as things are tighten up a little bit more there. But I think I'm more going to be looking at what's happening outside of the zone, right? Are those outliers going to look to rotate towards? I mean, because La Cobreria, once the blue hits, that's quite a bit of a lengthy to get into the zone.
It is indeed. I'm looking down to the southeast side, though, DK. Look down where that gray... Who is gray down there? I can't quite see that name. But they have free reign coming into zone. No one has bothered them. There's no one over in Puerto. So they were able to actually loot up in peace, get anything they wanted. They might actually be one of the best looted up teams in the whole lobby just because of that fact. There's been nothing for anybody to do anything to them. They've just been able to come into zone and chill and continue to chill. There's no one on this side. Middlesex County, though, step up and ask the other team to step on down here. Another nade. That's going to be very nice indeed. I think should do something at least to deter and make sure he can get out to the other side. Lexus now. It's a 1v3. Can he do it with the S12K? No, he can't. Down to half health. Here comes the teammate. Not a moment too soon, but here we go. Lexus now with that Molotov. Going to be pushing on through. Nades to the top. Molly's to the bottom. Just going in through the window. Now, wow, there's a lot of nades coming on through now, and that's going to be a beautiful nade coming on through. Lexus goes down, but that's a trade. Over onto Chow Chow. And now it's time for Pasha Bay to do something here. The nade says no. Okay, but why? Grabbing that Elim and knock as well. Krish coming in just a little bit too late here. Now it's a 1-by-1 situation we got on our hands, DK. Middlesex County unable to do something here, and that's going to be C. Wait, hang on a second. Burpee going on, or taking out Delulu there. And that's going to be, oh, can he just see the feet? Can he just see the feet? No, he misses again. He misses 3 times. 3 times. Krish is unable to do it, but he sees him there. Nope, that's 4.
5. Let's see how many shots can we count here for Krish before Krish crushes it, right? But Krish might either crash it, get crashed, or get cross. So one of those will happen. So it's either going to be a Krish crash, Krish crashing it, or getting crushed themselves. Of course, the reses are trying to come through. The fact that Burpee is coming in for a little bit of assistance here, make that 6 hits now. Krish is very consistent with hit. The 8th one lands it. There we go. All right, so, you know, just a little bit of consistency. Just keep on honing those skills, and eventually the shots connecting up. I mean, Grace is doing a lot better than I would at the exact same situation, right? I would have missed all the hits, not just 8, all of them.
But who's counting, right? Who's counting?
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
they get
we're
the
not
job
keeping score.
done.
Don't worry, Grace.
No, we're not. No, we definitely won't remember that for the end of the game. It's fine. No, but really good stuff there. They got it in the end, and we move on over to Kent State. Now, Kent did a really good job in the league stage, if I remember correctly. They had some really decent games. So I would like to see what they've got up their sleeve here for the Miramar. and we will see. They're so far just being kind of quiet, just very much chilling. But there are a few teams around them, so they got to keep their wits about them. Make sure that they know exactly what they're doing. But they're inside zone at this point. Look, DK, it's a Miramar. It's quite a long game. It's a big map. You're not going to see too much happening just yet. The zone does center up. But what's going on?
What's that in the top left corner? Right.
Two teams in the blue.
Fill in the gap all the way out in the blue with the rest of the team. Why? The blue is going to pop now. I hope they've got the meds to make it all the way from El Pozo, because that is going to be a crazy lengthy rotation. I mean, they went from far away to a little bit closer, but it's still a great cover. They went all the way from La Cobreria down to El Pozo, and now they have such a long way to get themselves in. In the meantime, it's going to be El Goma, I believe, in the zone now, feeling a lot of that sting being applied to them, as Goblin is going to try and secure the position here. Of course, he's going to be taking a little bit of that damage as well, but the shots are absolutely relentless, trying to evade the one team right on your front step, but instead the third party is going to just come in napping at your heels.
Oh, this is big yikes coming in. They've sacrificed one of the probably only vehicles in on Miramar. That is such a death knell, so they have to be so careful right now. Because 4K don't have any vehicles themselves, it looks like. I don't see any unless they're inside the building. So even if Algoma are able to win this, they still have a really tough spot because they just don't have those vehicles afforded to them. So we'll see how that goes for them. YC Famous does go on down. Gets knocked, gets taken out very quickly. Big old fight happening over in that Elam feed, but we're on Seneca B right now. Dong just trying to get as much information as possible. 1 minute 40 until stage 4 shows on up here, and that's where that blue zone's really going to start ticking. So your mention of those teams still in the blue really starts to take shape here, because they really do have to get out of Dodge, get into some playable areas.
The good thing is that shape will always count, right? Because that's just what the zone does.
Yes.
Whether or not Don or Dong can get that dink, we always like to hear. So far, I don't see that coming through just yet, but of course, Picado, right? This is now a very interesting position because as I mentioned earlier, ITSV, they trust is where they started, and now they have a little bit of company that has rolled upwards. Then the zone has not fully committed to necessarily centering up in exactly this position, so we'll see how stage 4 and onwards is going to bode for them. But now Seneca B up in the window, Don G still sending it out hit after hit, trying to apply as much pressure as they can across the way. I mean, we've seen third parties, but this is maybe a little bit more than that, right? Because Kent State is also on the opposite end of that engagement as well. So I'm feeling quite worried about the squads that are sandwiched in between. Speaking about Kent State, it is them on screen right now as the full rush comes in. Absolute chaos and carnage as Kent now is reduced to a 3-piece. I'm sure if Ruthless is going to be making it out of that situation. But Thor has got to get that hammer swinging because Ninja is not going to make it all alone out in the blue. The rush is in, the hits connect. Beautiful shots, but not enough though.
No, it's the backstab round the back door. Not gonna happen, but Alabama, they gotta be quick with these recalls, or recalls? These revives, rather. They gotta be really quick with them. You see the damage ticking away here. It's not going to be easy to get out of this situation, even with the win on their shoulders here. And there you go, UAB, they're going to be starting to go out to that play zone. Dong on the other hand, trying to get as much third party in as possible as that fight starts to go on down as well to the south side. So just a whole bunch. Oxy goes on down. There you go. It's all happening. It is all happening. YIC, there we go. Aries. Portage able to do something here in Picado. Everybody's in Picado. Ooh, Middlesex County B take it on out. Aries up with that one elimination. There we go, and now they can breathe just for a moment.
I mean, that was a beautiful spray. Well done to Aries. Now, let's see if Seneca B will be the one to hold it up on towards the edge of the zone. We do see Red River also in pretty close proximity to them. ITSV also feeling a little bit of that sting, as we did see in the feed, one of their players getting knocked on down. But again, I actually got to say, I kind of like where the zone has gone here, right? We see a lot of that range engagement coming through. So many teams coming through with third parties and fourth parties, and everybody just trying to rush in and get some kind of a performance locked in. But the range hits is going to take them quite a bit of a long way, not necessarily securing anything. What we do know, though, is that it is going to be there for Alabama B, as the time is Middlesex County still on the very edge of zone, far from out of the woods. It is going to be Gurjar and the rest of the crew patiently awaiting a bit of an entry point into this next phase.
Yes, indeed. But they gotta be so careful with how they choose to enter in, right? Because so many of these teams are gonna have eyes everywhere. It's the only state you can be in this kind of zone. You've got to have your scopes locked in all directions. So moving into this zone is gonna be very, very difficult. Eastern Louisiana, go on out there. Middlesex County, A. Last solo alive, Iman. Oxy looking for him. They've got a Molotov, they got a rifle. They got things. Algoma looking to just clean up this fight, clean it up, make sure that they don't have anybody behind them, right? Because they know they have to move on in. It's a very much an edge play here, but they gotta make sure they don't get backstabbed. They've heard him now. That could have been a nice shot, but no, not gonna take it. Tries to do something, makes one low. Can he get another one, though? No, they're on both sides. He does get it, though. Oxy! Algoma, what are you doing? You're going in one by one here. You're separating yourselves, and that's a 1v2. Iman takes them out. Algoma were worried about a backstab, and they just said, okay, we don't want you to stab us in the back, so here's our fronts instead. You can take us out here.
I mean, right, it's really tough to see these kinds of plays happening, but we have Picado in zone yet again. Vancouver, though, they are going to be knocking on the floor here for ITSV. As you can see, Kail holding nice and steady. We get Jeremy also there to provide a little bit of that support. But it is going to be a 2-2 lit, though. So curious whether or not Humble and Rallo are going to be able to bring in a bit of assistance here. Because looking at the push coming through here from Vancouver, they might really need that play. Meanwhile, Red River going through over on towards the slightly more eastern approach. Also going for a lot more of an audio angle here, right? Keeping their ears wide open to see if they can get a good read on the angles here. Not quite sure if that utility went where they would have hoped it to go, but Jeremy is going to be found out. That is ITSV already losing 2 players. And this is where that 2-2 split is either a blessing or it's making things difficult. Get out of the West rolling up to the fight as well. Everybody now trying to get their slot, their seat at the casino. But it is going to be quite a big gamble as Harman gets picked on up. Beautiful nade. It's going to be Red River.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Really trying to take back the points that should have been theirs in the Erangel. They went out early in that last game. Now they want to stay a little bit longer. 0 eliminations on the board so far, but such a central position for them. Almost, well, in the top 10, almost in that point range. We will see how that happens as another code is going your way, ladies and gentlemen, as we are ready for the teams to heat on up. Go grab your codes before the action starts. Get that gift card, $5 on Amazon. Go ahead and grab it now. First come, first serve, of course. But as the zone moves over to Picado further and further, all these teams, I mean, we've not had a Picado finish in a very long time, DK. I've not really seen one for a while, so this is refreshing to have such a city finish in such a small city for too many teams here. I'm excited to see where this will take us.
Yeah, it's like we almost have to reintroduce ourselves to the zone, right like Sinner here did as they pushed on forward. I mean, Dirang getting taken down right there. Now, let's see what they can do as Vancouver just bagged another elimination here. I mean, right, if I don't necessarily see that same performance from the previous match crew this time around. I mean, it's still maybe a possibility, but I think they should have started maybe a few phases ago, looking to get a little bit more. But as you mentioned earlier, this is Miramar. It is a very widespread map, so it's not necessarily always that easy. Looking at the zone right now, it is, right? If you look left, if you look right, there's a team on either side. So you're not going to have a tough time finding engagements or fighting for those eliminations. But let's see where this next phase is going to be taking us as it gets ready to pop. And it takes us right over into Picado still. So still quite a big chunk of outlying area being in play. But this is where I'm going to be looking over towards Fury and the rest of the team up towards that northern side of Picado, right? Are they going to look to play for the elevation on the northern edge of the zone itself?
Gosh. This is going to be quite difficult. Because there's nowhere to turn here for so many of these teams. I mean, the walls only extend so far, and if the zone pushes you out of them, as it seems to be doing here, it does mean that you're in for a wild ride. Vancouver, the team with the 31-point game on the last game, 21-point gap from the rest of the lobby. They are on that outside, on the fringe, nowhere near where they need to be to have another good game here. They could go out very early if they're not extremely careful. Just need to inch up, make sure they know exactly what they're doing here. Portage, on the other hand, have a much more secure position in zone, but we do have one of the Seneca teams looking in and saying, hello, we're here. If you try and get out of Picado, we will pick you up and pick you apart. So also have to be very careful of that as well.
Yeah, that's a Seneca A. Those lovely purple dots and name bars that we can see right over there. Thank you so much for that info. We appreciate it. Now it's going to be Alan and the rest of, I believe that's Kent, looking to find themselves a bit of a position, a bit of an angle. Ooh, but the spray is heading a little bit further up into center zone. But I think this is where the angle could rather be quite leveraged now here by Red River. Yes, they only have 2 players up, but so many of these squads are going to be moving from them, or rather past them in this position. So I want to see if they can lock it down and be the gatekeepers of Picado itself. Meanwhile, Canada West, they're going to be just waiting over on the edge here, looking into that field, looking for a little bit of something here. But will they have to make a run for it? I mean, I think, Nep, if this zone pops and it goes even more east than it is right now, right, moving up into those hills, it's going to be bloodshed. It is going to be crazy. But Seneca A are going to be happy about it because they already have been able to kind of break out of that mold, right? They've been able to get themselves situated. And I'm also going to be looking at the other teams that are already situated on the eastern side of the zone.
Oh, hang on. We have a vehicle that is stuck on its side, unable to do much. They're trying to get it out. No! Very, very close there. Oh, and they did get knocked down. I think that was a knock there. Yeah, so that's going to be them grabbed, taken away. Just a little bit of PUBG Mobile. I mean, so often that car will just ruin your game. But there you go. 1 hit now. Moving on through. Going to grab... No, I don't think he actually grabbed that point. I think that got stolen away from him. But either which way, that is going to be one of that team gone on down. Vancouver now. Here we go. Big old nade coming on through. There we go. That's going to be 1 elim. And that's going to be all they can grab. 9th place for the top of the leaderboard team right now. That is all they can manage. The zone has, in fact, gone more east, DK. We are looking at a zone outside of Picado. These poor teams. But, like you said, Seneca A, I think you said it was, over on the
Seneca
outside.
B.
And both Senecas, actually. Yeah, you're right. Both of them outside of Picado, able to just look at those teams on the inside and go, you do not want to be you right now.
Yeah. I hope you brought your your towel with you, because it's going to get sweaty very quickly. So, I mean, with 22 players alive, there's only so many slots that can take that winner chicken dinner. It is going to be a pretty hairy, scary engagement. But let's see, Portage still going to be holding nice and steadily here. Again, pretty close to where we can see Red River. So I think both these squads will have quite a bit of a controlling angle. Of course, that paired with Seneca A and B. Seneca A over on the west, Seneca B over on the east. It's going to be pretty insane. So, yeah, how the rest of the team there also now starting to up. That, of course, is going to be ITSV looking for some way to get a bit of that continuation coming forward into what is left of the zone here. But now Canada West going toe-to-toe up in the casino. The shots are in, and that is ITSV down and done. 7 elims, though, or rather 7th place going over to them. Canada West now climbing all the way up onto 6. Red River still to find some eliminations, and as we did see earlier, they only have 2 players left, so the odds of them getting those eliminations are becoming increasingly more challenging, especially now with the pressure being applied from across the way. But I mean, still, it is looking good for Red River. They don't have to move just yet.
Not quite yet. RRC, they're in the last line of defense. They're in a real tricky spot because you've got Seneca, you've got R2B, you've got those 2 on that side, and then all the rest of them outside or inside Picado as well. So they're in a real tough position. I think if you're in that spot, you don't say a word, you don't move a muscle. Obviously teams will know that you're there, but you can't really do too much because then all eyes are on you, and there you go, down to just 1 HP there for them. Gotta be very, very careful, as looks like they're actually going to, wait, no, that wasn't their smoke. Oh, I see. Okay, nice Molotov into the smoke just to deter anybody who might want to do anything with that. Criminal does go on down for YIC, as Seneca B do move on through down into Picado and behind. Interesting for them, they're actually going to be going in and challenging the teams directly. There's no room for them on the outside of Picado, so they're going in.
Well, I mean, that's probably their only sensible play that they could try and make here. But we do see Alabama also now feeling a little bit of that pressure as they are getting absolutely rushed, but they too are trying to push further out of the zone. Red River now having themselves go up in flames. Alabama also going to be falling on down. So that is going to be 2 teams out of here as we now hit our top 4 squads. Portage going to look to see, can they find a little bit of that Jester action. It is going to be a serious cat and mouse game here. It could even be Criminal if these utilities connect, but a beautiful spray coming through there from Aries. Another phenomenal hit. Now, the knock is in. Are they going to go for the follow-up? Are they going to go for the cleaning? Or will they just leave it then and there? Criminal just trying to find the approach to go forward through. Oh, Canada West also in that same compound with them. But I like what Seneca B is doing over on that far eastern side as we hit stage number 9. Everybody's now going to start peeling out of these windows like a can of worms. But let's see who will be the one to block in that winner chicken dinner.
Fury look like they might just want to do it. Oh, maybe not. Hang on, Seneca A. Fury going on down there. Very bold, but hang on. That's his teammates waiting in the wings. They're trying to... Oh, hang on. We're trying to ignore or... Okay, my words not catching up with what I'm seeing here. Criminal just acting too fast for me. Here we go. 3 eliminations on the board for him. Can he get his teammate back up with that zone closing? I'm not sure that he can. Seneca A, on the other hand, moving on in. That's going to be a duo for them. That's a big nade. But, yeah, Jester does go on down. Criminal goes on down as well. Portage eliminated here. Seneca B, Seneca A, and UCW, the final 3 teams remaining, and none of them a full squad. None of them have been able to weather the storm without taking a few falls here. Vicious goes out to the play zone. That's going to be rough. Canada West decide to just go ahead and deny the points. Seneca versus Seneca, and it is going to be B to take the win here on Miramar.
Yep, they just be better, I guess, right? They just read that zone phenomenally. So Seneca A getting taken out in 2nd place, but Seneca B buzzing their way all the way to the top. Absolutely exciting, but I mean, and I'm not surprised, right? Looking at the position they were holding outside of the zone, just sitting on that eastern front, waiting for all the chaos over on the west to kind of come to some kind of a conclusion. That's a big strat. A risky strat all at the same time, but that was still a phenomenal performance coming through from them. Let's see who our MVP is. Who's the one that did the most? The answer is, of course, N-Fold coming through with 8 eliminations. And I can hear some bells ringing because I see 1,000 damage on screen.
Ding, ding, ding. There you go, Enfold. Big GG's going your way. Just sneaking over that 1,000 damage range there, but elimination's gonna be huge coming in here. Again, right, Vancouver went out early without really any points, so now the opportunity for all of these teams who, by default in that last game, were all pushed together point-wise, they have a huge opportunity now to move ahead and close that gap up to that first place. Here we go, 11 eliminations for Canada West coming on here in here, 1,675 damage total. That is crazy though. 675 damage by the rest of the team and 1,000 done by just one player.
I mean, it's pretty ridiculous performances, you gotta say, but you gotta give it up to Canada West, and I would say also to Seneca, right? Seneca B, because both these teams had no points in the previous match. The same also then for Red River, right? Red River also not having anything to show for that last game, and now they stepped up here, bringing in absolute magic. But here we have our overall rankings. Vancouver, even though they might not necessarily have been able to have a repeat performance, they are still sitting at the top, only adding 3 additional points to their overall tally, but 34 is still going to be a very comfortable spot to be. Instead, we can see quite a bit of movement coming through from the rest of the lobby. It is unfortunate, though, for Southeastern Louisiana, the only team that are yet to find themselves a few points this match.
Yeah, it is being a little bit of a more of a struggle for them. I'm holding out for the Rondo though. I was just thinking, you know, Vancouver, they still have that lead. They have a 14-point lead over the rest of the lobby. That's fantastic. But with Rondo coming up, we do have Sandhawk in the middle of that, but with Rondo coming up, with those recalls, it is a map where you get massive increases in those elimination points, in those points total. So for Vancouver, they cannot sit on their laurels just yet. Yes, they have a big gap going into Sandhawk. Yes, they can afford to have another okay game. But the Rondo is really where they have to shine here. So they can't be done just yet with this evening. That one game was not enough because the rest of the teams, as we saw in this last game, are wanting to take that crown from them. They are not ready to stop here. They want to move forward. And the Sandhawk is going to be something where I think we are going to start seeing some teams really step up. And that Rondo is going to be absolutely just a lot of carnage coming through here. They have to be very careful.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out who is going to be careful and who is going to be crazy as we are getting ready to hop into the jungle. Our next match, of course, is going to be straight over on Sandhawk. So if you thought it was hot and sweaty in the desert, wait until we make it into the jungle, right? Because that's when the humidity really hits. And of course, we have far less playable areas, so it's going to be quite exciting to see who's going to be the team to look to try and rise to the occasion. But you got to give it up, right? These leaderboard shifts that we're seeing coming through, it is looking absolutely phenomenal. Both Seneca teams doing a great job. I mean, Seneca A moving up the board, Seneca B leaping up the board. So I like what I'm seeing so far, but of course, we need to see what the teams are going to be bringing in as we get into match number next. So the only way to get there is by taking a break. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready to go hear a lot more of that as we are heading over into the lovely map of Sandhawk. My name is DK, and this is Neptura. I keep on pointing at the pan. Well, the pan is also called Neptura, right? But she's also called Neptura, because you can see it, because the name's right there on the screen. But yeah, so I think it's going to be quite exciting based on what these teams have been doing in the first 2 matches already, to see what they're going to be bringing in as we hop over into our next match of the day. So far, Vancouver and, of course, Seneca. And we did see Seneca B, Seneca A, playing a very good strategy coming into those later few stages of the previous map. But the big question here is, are we going to have some potential hot drops and some crazy clashes as we get ourselves ready to move into match number 3 of the day? I think Sandhawk might have a little bit of an opportunity for that, right? A little bit of that lobster drop, a little bit of boot camp coming into play, maybe Paradise coming into play as well. Lobster drop in boot camp. That building that looks like a lobster.
I haven't heard it called lobster in a long time. Okay, yeah, right, all right. No, I think we could see some hot drops. So far, the teams have wanted to hot drop. I am all for boot camp. Let's do it. We haven't had a proper hot drop in boot camp in so long. I want it. I want it now. Please, teams, give it to me, because we've got enough time where they can do that.
Speaking about hot drops, we got to drop something else. Right? There's going to be this little thing over here that's going to pop up. We'll see it now. There we go. It comes with a lovely detachable touchscreen remote. You can pull it out. You can do things with it. It's got simple gesture control. There we go.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe gesture control as well. You can make a few jokes with it if you really want to. Right, so you can shoot completely hands-free. You can just wave, pose, and let the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra capture the moment for you. But if you're playing PUBG, you can't do any of that because you will have to aim yourself, right? Unfortunately, that's not a feature in the game. You're gonna have to lock in and make sure that you can get everything popping like that detachable screen, right? Because it's popping. It pops right out of there and it pops right back in.
Yes, it does. Very nice indeed. Go ahead and grab yours in the description below as we move over to our maps. Erangel, done. Miramar, dusted. Sandhawk is where it's at. Now, we're going to be going over into such a small map comparatively, and this is always what is so tricky about Sandhawk is if it's after Miramar, you go from the biggest map to the smallest back to back. That's such a major adjustment that you have to do. So it is going to be really interesting. It's a real test of how adaptable teams can be. So it's really going to be interesting to see what these teams can do with this. The flight path is going to be a lot less heinous coming forward into this next map just because the map is so small, of course, but we have a lot of water on this map. So far tonight, the water has played a big part in both of, well, that's an actual lie because on Miramar it was straight up Picado. So no, never mind. On Erangel, there was a lot of water involved. Will we see that again on Sandhawk?
I figured it out. I know why this map has so much water. Figured it out. Yeah.
Tell me.
Because look at all the trees. Look how green it is. It makes sense.
Oh, yeah. You're
Hence
so right.
That's why there's so much water to keep the garden fed, right? So, yeah, you got to make sure that you've got enough water in there. And of course, in the meantime, we are going to be looking over at the teams to see who's going to be looking to get into the action.
Okay.
I'm looking onto that southern side, right? Look at that. By Camp Charlie, Bantai. It is going to be a pretty crazy place. But of course, up in Cal, we are going to be starting off with a little bit of an altercation, a little bit of a scuffle here, a little bit of a scuffle over there, and a little bit of a scuffle all over the place. This cave is also going to get a little bit of love as well. So 2 teams moving into that position. Let's see what Alabama is going to look to get done over here. They have a bit of company. I've not yet fully been able to see. Oh, it's Seneca A. Yep, that's who they're getting ready to fight. So let's see. Can Seneca A hold steady as the zone is now all the way up north as well?
It is. It's gone straight up to the north. First of all, boo, no one's gone to boot camp, and everybody's decided to go over to Cal instead, and hot drop there. Very odd decision, but okay. Here we go. Alabama stepping up to the plate, or maybe not. Just a soul left alive. I think they very much have not stepped up to the plate for this one. Unfortunately, that's going to be Seneca taking them out for the most part here. Diljit is just the last one left alive here. And the fight's basically over before it's really begun. That's the risk you take with hot dropping, right? Because it's just, you don't have a lot of loot. You just have to pick up and go. And a lot of the times, that pickup is not a great loadout for you. So you're stuck with something you don't want, you are good as gone. But there we go. That's going to be Southeastern Louisiana does go out first, though. Not sure where that was.
Ooh.
But yeah. They are out, they are done. That was very, very quick. 2.5 minutes into game and you're already back in lobby. I mean, at least there's more time to just kind of strengthen your rondo strategy, maybe, something like that. But definitely not the outcome they would have wanted.
They speed ran the map, but not in the not the right kind of speed running. Speaking about speed running, look at Mechanic. Wow. That was a pretty good third party coming through here. Seneca so focused in on what is happening in front of them. Delete now also really making things super difficult for them. Saying I might be a solo, but I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna end it here. So let's see if Punk is gonna be the one to maybe try and close this up. It seems to be a 1v1. The jump shots are coming through. A lot of shotties in the window as they are doing a little bit of that reframing here. Can we see Delete now get that hit? Oh, if you jump, the other player jumps as well. So maybe act as if you were gonna jump, and then you can get the jump on them. But now comes the push. It is gonna be Red River starting to circumnavigate and constrict further onto the position. Yeah, Punk was feeling so pumped. They wanted to do a push-up, but instead, they'll have to wait in the lobby.
They will indeed, and it's nice to see Red River able to grab some points. It might just be 2 so far, and it might be a little bit gate-kept here by 4K, but still, nice to see them able to get a little bit of that action going. They've struggled the last couple of games, so nice to see that from the Middlesex County A, of course, going to be that 4K logo coming on through. They know that there was a lot of fighting going on here. They know there's probably only one team left, and they want to gatekeep it. I mean, it's not a bad play, but I think when you're inside of the zone, as central as Cal is to this zone, I don't think it's really worth your while. I think you really do want to go over to the edge and defend the other side, right? Defend that south side of this hill or wherever their position is going to end up being, because the team in Cal, the Red River, they don't have to do anything. They can chill inside of Cal and just chill. So they don't need to actually push out. There's no reason for them to do that. So I think Middlesex County 8, they understand that. They're moving on back and sticking the truck for some reason, because why?
Yeah. He never put it in 4-wheel drive, right? That's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But I mean, looking at how riddled Cal is at this point, right, with all the shots that were flying in all directions, I think it's almost safe to say that it is now called Holy Cow, because there was a lot of hits coming through there. But, you know, we like the engagements coming through from the squads. I can just hear Neptura rolling her eyes at me. But you know what? That is fine, because I had a nice little bit of a chuckle all by my lonesome. So that was great. Speaking about great, Camp Charlie is not that great, though, because it is quite removed from the zone. Fortunately, we do see the teams possessing vehicles, so they can still get their butts out of there. They can get themselves moved on through. I'm curious whether or not Middlesex County A is going to receive a little bit of pressure up in towards Paradise, seeing that it is so centered within the zone. I mean, the same thing could go for Tatmok, but it's all going to come down to how these teams look to get themselves kind of, I would say, fortified here, right? Because they will maybe be a few pushes coming in. Ooh, like that one, as Red River now continues to push a little bit further over in the direction of Mong Nai. And that could be very, very exciting for them, because that is exactly where Portage is, right? So Portage, they might be in for a little bit of a wake-up call here, as the pushes might just come rolling in very, very soon. And of course, Arkansas, they have a a wide angle to try and play through here. That blue is going to close on up pretty soon. So Middlesex County A, Pasha up on the hill there. But what is Delulu going to do from all the way over here?
I mean, if he has the M4, if he has the scope, then he could do quite a bit there. He should be able to see him, but we will see what is going to be happening here. We do have a player. Yeah, Burpee's going to be pushing up onto Pasha, so that's an immediate backup that Delulu is not aware of right now. It's too far away to really hear that vehicle. And they're going to be pushing away now. Interesting. Oh, no, we saw you. We saw you run into that rock or tree or whatever it was. Spectator cam will not save you. We did see that in 4K. But yeah, so Delulu just going to be left on his own again here. And it's the stage of the game where really we need to start seeing a lot of teams do exactly what Delulu is. Just trying to spread out, find that information, make sure that they have a strong split to make sure that they don't get backstabbed, that there's no team that can push them effectively. This is really what you want to see here. Unfortunately for them, this setup is kind of going to waste because no one's coming onto that side. There's no one there. You could see that team down to the south side. FG might do something here. They might try and wrap around, in which case perfect for them. But otherwise, it kind of looks like everybody's decided to go over to that eastern side instead. So it is starting to get a bit busy over by Paradise and to the east of Paradise specifically here, as we have a clash happening right here, right now. The nades starting to be thrown here. KSU, it's going to be Kent going up against, I believe, Algoma? Yeah, it is. Algoma,
yes,
there you go.
Yeah, let's see who's going to get it though. Ooh, nice strafe coming through here from Ninja. Getting that stealth mode engaged. But, I mean, this is now... Weekend really needs to lock it down because, I mean, they need points, right? They only have 4, so they're going to have to fight a good fight here if they want to make it into those later stages of the match. But, of course, you got to be super cautious in these buildings because once the molly is popped, those flames spread like wildfire. Wildfire? Yeah, that maybe too. As it comes in and really starts heating things up. But for the time being, Algoma and Kent both just keeping their opposite positions here. I mean, Algoma, only 9 points to their name so far. So, I mean, I also wouldn't be too dissatisfied if they were able to secure themselves a little bit of a cleanup here. But it's going to be fastest fingers first, though.
I mean, the nades have been so instrumental so far in the games that we've seen. It could entirely do something here. Nope, it's not gonna. Ninja has a little haven here in that little tiny room. And we're gonna go over to Cockadlam instead, because he's getting Shikari getting taken, or trying to get taken on down. Ninja does go down to a nade. There we go. That's gonna be the first fatality here on the side of Kent. And Algoma wanting more. Using those nades, they know where he is. Nades on all 3 sides. How can he stay alive in this situation? We shall see. Oh, yeah, there we go. Thor goes on down. Another great nade from Algoma here. But again, these buildings are so difficult to defend, DK. You know, they're so open. The nades can just bounce any which way. Oh, good. Gurjar does go down, though. The 1v2 not helping, not doing anything to keep missing the shots. Algoma, what are you doing? Kent State finally go out, but goodness me, it took 2 knocks before that happened.
Yeah, I don't know what was the thing. I can't really make too much sense of what we saw just there, but as we know, Kent, they weren't able to hold on. We do also then see Seneca B, I believe that is, just over on the side up to the north as they start to move a little bit further forward. Now, what is going to happen here as we do have ITSV just ahead of Cockadlam? But now Cockadlam, are going to get ready for the showdown as it is Insane currently held up in the building. A lot of teams still focus on that southern side. Paradise, unfortunately, can't be kept here by Middlesex County as they will have to move out, look for another position to call home. Maybe they'll go for Cal, or maybe they'll just rush straight on forward into that center zone positioning. Meanwhile, there's still a few squads out on the edges here. So you can see Cockadlam not being able to convert this engagement just yet. They are trying to push. as they're taking 2 players in the compound, 2 players on the outside, trying to play that coverage. But Seneca B trying to use a little bit of this downtime to get themselves all raised up. But now it is going to be go time as they get ready. Who spots a beautiful opportunity? The spray is in. Dun G coming in, getting the plays secured. Young boy goes down. Now let's see, can Cocket Lamb bounce back from this one? Because Seneca B are going to be bringing it in here.
Oh my goodness me. Seneca doing what they can, but the nade bounced inside again, and Dung needs to just... Oh wait, no. That was so risky. His own nade nearly got him. He tries to go outside and goes, wait, no, that's dangerous. Goes back towards the nade. But luckily he's got those meds. He knew what he was doing. There we go. 77k though, gonna be looking for him on the edge of the zone. As the zone starts to come in now. Here we go. This is where it really gets dicey. Dung on that angle, actually, this low ground, really giving him a little bit of a ridge to play behind. The zone's not doing too much damage just yet, so he has a little bit of time. Shikari just saw him in the window. Does he have another nade? No, but he does have a Molotov. ITSV do go out in the meantime. Let's see what we got here. No, that's gonna be the spray with the S12K. Not gonna be effective just yet. But it's a 1v3 at this point. He's just looking to do something. He can't do anything, but the zone does take out Shikari there. So is he going to be able to get res back up? We will see. The Elam feed is just going crazy right now, DK. Arkansas State go on out, as we saw there. Algoma now a duo, but 6 Elams. It's a nice trade. See them move in now as the zone just gets smaller and smaller. Stage 3 incoming.
Yep, it's coming in hot. Let's see whether or not management can get something done here. It's going to be a pretty tough angle, though. They don't necessarily have too much support. Oh, but they don't need it. Look at that hit, though. Just stopping the rotate right then and there. So well played here by Red River. They, of course, have all 4 of their players in this match. So it's good to see them rocking up with full numbers. But now they're going to try and put a little bit of distance in between themselves and the blue. But while we wait for the action, we have Chickens on screen who pops out codes. It's a bit of a glitchy chicken. It's not supposed to pop out codes, but you know what? It is a lovely code. It's a $5 Amazon gift card, so be sure to go grab that if you've not been able to just yet. It is a fastest fingers first, so if you punch in the code and nothing happens, it's probably already been claimed. Speaking about claimed, that is exactly what Zinx experiences right then and there, getting claimed by management.
Oh, and he's looking for a few more. This nade could be beautiful. Oh, but careful you don't get your teammates in the process. There we go. Takes one out. Claims another, and that's going to be the end of it. Really nice rotation there from Red River. Those teammates really just able to just surround that team, get them out of here. And that's going to be 10 eliminations for them. Again, Red River. The Sandhawk is the map where teams that are struggling can turn it all around, and Red River has been that team to step on up after a dicey last 2 games. 10 eliminations on the board, full squad, just rolling through teams at this point. And we have continued to go up to the northern side, though, DK. It is going to center up on Cal again. So we are looking at a very, well, not really centering up on Cal. It's in between Cal and Magnite, let's just put it that way. But again, a very northern zone that we don't often see. So for a lot of these teams, this could be very new territory for an end zone.
Yep, definitely could be. So, well, it's going to be a risky play because we already have 3 and a bit of teams in the zone. Well, we can make that now 4 and a bit. As you can see, even more of them starting to roll on through, and Fold gets folded up. Down they go. Now Canada West having to hold on with a 3-piece, but Basha has been spotted out over on the side here. So that rock not being as much of a good cover as they thought it would have been. Nobi getting picked up quite quickly there as well. It is absolute pressure coming through as Alabama B are going to be looking for a bit of a continuation here. But it's good to see Red River bringing in so much heat. Look at the sprays here from Middlesex County A. As you can see, Eman getting caught in 4K, right? just doing some phenomenal work. Let's see if Hoxie can get it in. That blue is going to do a little bit more than tickle at this point, but fortunately it's not going to be the blue that ends it for them. It is instead the quicker reactions coming through from Red River.
GG, and with that, to the top 5 we go. Red River, 13 eliminations. They are doing exactly what Vancouver did. They're just miles ahead of the rest of the lobby in terms of those points for Sandhawk here. But we do see a few others. I mean, 4K, they've had this they've had this area for quite a long time, and now they're looking to just capitalize on that. Middlesex County beat over onto the north side, just using those rice field areas or the swampy areas to actually use them as ridges, just use them as a little bit of cover. But they got 2 teams on either side here. They can see that UCW are trying to get out of that compound, and Red River on the south side looking at everybody else. So this is just kind of where I think we're going to see a little bit of a standstill coming into play here. RRC, though, had that 2-2 split. Is really nice to see that coming in from them. We will see if we can get them regrouped pretty quickly. Yep, that's what they're going to try and do here. And Middlesex County A, they're in the compound. They are good to go for now. But on that edge, it's going to be very difficult in the next zone. So they have to really decide what they're going to do here. Do they push a team right now? Do they wait until that zone closes on up? Because I doubt it's going to go to them. So this is a very tricky position for them.
Yeah, it definitely is quite a bit of a tricky position to play through. It's all down to what the rest of the teams are going to look to do here. I mean, it can go either which way, so it's not just a bit of a waiting game. It is going to be Red River coming through with the sprays over on towards the far eastern side, looking to build even more momentum. They've been able to jump all the way up to, I believe, that is 13 eliminations. Absolutely insane performance here from them. But they're going to have to do a lot more if they want to catch that 21 bomb that we saw getting dropped earlier. Speaking about doing a lot more, that's exactly what they'll have to add on top of what they still need to get secured here, because they are outside of the zone. Their mechanic is down, so who is going to repair their vehicles? Pasha, in the meantime, is going to come through with a bit of a spray into the side of Canada West. Burpee has been found. There's going to be Rango getting, unfortunately, thrown off his horse. Couldn't hold on to the reins, trying to fly into that building a little bit too quickly, spooking the poor animal, and then having to pay the price for that. Eman, gets hit. A very famous hit getting done right there. Al Pacino rushing up as well. Clean up aisle 4. Will they see the elimination? They do, and there we have it. Even more chaos and carnage now ensues.
Oh my goodness me. Oh dear, Middlesex County just unable to do anything with that. GG. I love also what, who was it down to the south side? They were able to just push on up onto that shack, and that was their ticket into zone. So nice stuff from them. Red River up to 17 eliminations, though, still up as a full squad. Well, now I've said it, haven't I? Labor does go down as soon as I said that. Is he going to be able to be picked on up? I don't know. Those nades are flying in. Mechanic also under fire. Dem trying to do something here on the wrong side. Gonna try and do something. There we go. But all 3 of them are here. So it didn't really need to be all here, but they are inside of zone now. But the nades are coming through. The shots are coming through as well. RRC in a tough position here, because they're getting looked on by YIC here. That's gonna be difficult. Oh, nice little trade, though, just to give them a little bit of something to work with. And the 2 teams to the northwest side, they are big chilling. They're waiting for this fight to finish up because they know they are not in a good position.
Let's see who can look to improve the positions across the board. Maybe it could be Red River. I mean, 17 eliminations. They are just 4 away from breaking even. Playing the same kind of performance that we saw happening back in match number 1, but instead getting done by the side of Vancouver. So I like the bounce back that these teams are bringing through. Now, Spear has been hit, so that does make things a little bit more challenging for the side of Middlesex County coming through on the western side. Again, yet to find themselves a bit of an angle up in towards the zone. Blue is going to go start to constrict that play. Now, Red River looking to extend the reach both north and south, or rather east and west, as the box continues to just rain on down. Oh, HDEM finding beautiful angles over on the side. Now it's going to be that pressure position, right? It's going to be a full-on send. Can Famous and the rest of the crew survive the onslaught? Can they make it out of this one? I don't really know, but it's going to be a really difficult angle to play. Criminal does find their own teammate, but look at Mechanic cleaning up Portage. Out they go, and RRC coming through with 24 eliminations and a winner chicken dinner.
GG. Oh my goodness me. Red River able to just claim that from the very beginning of the game. Just able to go hit after elimination after elimination. Fantastic game from them. What a position to be in now. That's definitely going to put them in that top 3 spot. Ready for Rondo to get double eliminations on the get-go. So really, really good stuff from them. They position themselves fantastically in the evening. And we will see who our MVP is. It's going to be Mechanic. 8 eliminations going to him, 874 damage as well. No bell just yet, but a very, very economical 8 eliminations going his way. GG's.
I mean, Mechanic will be the belle of the ball, okay? We'll go for that one, because that was, I mean, the conversion here is amazing, right? 8 eliminations, 874 damage. Right on the money. Amazing work, but of course the MVT, also no surprise. 25 eliminations.
Wow.
Going alongside 2,900 damage. Insane work being done here. You gotta ring that bell a little bit more now.
I do, but DK, they have a 35-point game.
Yeah.
Are you telling me we've had a 31-point game and a 35-point game in the same evening, in 3 games?
No, I'm not telling you that. You just said it yourself.
It's true, I did just say that myself. But oh my goodness me, that is huge. Coming in, massive, massive games from both Vancouver and Red River. Let's see where it puts them on that leaderboard. And of course it's going to be first and second place. There's no way it couldn't be. It's 40 points going over to Vancouver. Red River with 38 there. 2-point difference. Very, very close indeed. But Canada West and Seneca A both with 24 points. And just down the line from there, it is very, very close indeed. So this rondo coming up, BK, is going to be so, so important, because all of these teams have a potential to shoot right up into that #1 spot. I mean, because it's rondo, because we have those double points coming in here. I mean, even like a Kokenlami and Seneca B, the teams that are still with team points here could easily break 40 points in just this game.
Yeah, I mean, Red River, Vancouver, both teams showed that on a vanilla map, right, just your standard PUBG, they can come in and break the bank with the amount of eliminations they can find. So, yeah, if we go into a map, we can go beyond that, which is, of course, going to be Rondo. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a team like Southeastern Louisiana sit over at the top on the left side, right? Catch up like with Red River or Canada West or somewhere over there. Because this performance from Red River is insane, right? So before this match, they had no elimination points. Only placement points. Right? And they went from 13th position all the way into 2nd. So that was a insane performance. Like, they just catapulted themselves, right? They strapped on a rocket and they're like, you know what? We're just gonna do it. And they did a phenomenal job. So super impressive. But now I want to see, as you said, what's gonna happen on Rondo? Who's gonna be the next crazy, wacky team to step up and just try and get all the eliminations? Because as we know on Rondo, there's recalls, right? So if the teams use the strategy properly, they can lose 3 players, bring them all back again, and then go again, right? So that means the opposing sides can really capitalize on those eliminations. So I'm really excited to see how crazy they are going to look to make it coming into this next game. But of course, only one way to get there. We're going to hop into a break. So we'll see you back in a short few. And we're back getting ready for the final match. We're heading straight over into Rondo. Nep, we've seen some pretty hot, pretty sweaty plays in Erangel and Sanok. So that was match 1 and 3. Match 2, yes, it was there, but it wasn't necessarily crazy just yet. So I'm curious to see what we will have coming into the final match. I mean, we did see a 11 elimination winner chicken dinner come through, but compared to the 21 and 25 elimination games that we've had, I want to see a bit more. And as you've said already, Rondo might be exactly that map.
It might indeed, yeah. There's going to be a lot of chaos coming in onto Rondo. I don't expect many hot drops. Well, actually, I expect all the hot drops. I was thinking, I don't expect many hot drops because they're trying to just keep it kind of chill, and they got those recalls, and they're going to be using them. But they're going to be using the recalls because they're hot dropping. That's how we've seen it play out before. It's probably how it's going to play out tonight as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of hot drops, a lot of action, particularly in the first half of the game. We are going to be seeing a lot of that. But will one of the teams be able to just dominate like we've seen? Or is it going to be a little bit more evenly spread? Because that could happen as well. I really do feel like that could be something that we're going to be seeing here.
Yeah, it definitely could be. But of course, another thing that we'll definitely be looking at is going to be right over there. Right over there. It's lightweight, it's foldable, it's pocket-sized. It's the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. It's built for creators. On the go, it's powerful enough for pro content, yet small enough to carry anywhere. And you can pop it in your pocket if you really want to. If you have big enough pockets, of course. Right? I think I can put it in my pocket. I don't think you can put it in your pocket. I don't think your pockets are big enough. Because you got... Yeah.
We get tiny pockets. Sad.
Yeah. I can put one of those. I can have it in my pocket, or you can always just pop it in your backpack or just hold it in your hand, whichever way works. But yes, it is a very cool device. So check it out down in the video description. Of course, the links are right there if you want to get your hands on them. You can see it comes with a lovely little light on it as well at the end. So yeah, you've got the light, you've got a remote control. It has got it's got the retractable arm thingy, so you can make it longer, so you can turn it into a selfie stick, so you can sit there and do the whole, you know, bounty thing, whatever you need to do, film the content however you deem it be fit. But yeah, very exciting device, so go check it out in the chat. Speaking about excitement, yeah, you've already said, Nep, that you're looking forward to the few potential hot drops that we could be seeing come in onto the lovely Rondo. But so then the big question is, right, where on the map of Rondo do you suspect it to be? I personally think that maybe Neox Factory could be one of the points, right? Neox Factory test track, because that's usually where the hot drops come in. Maybe even Stadium, if that is within the zone. But if not those 2/3 places, where else would you think we could maybe see one?
Joutin could be an option. Yulin Garden. No, not Yulin Garden. What's the big one?
Dinlong Gardens.
No, not that one. I think I was talking about Yulin. Yes, but I put gardens on the end of it, which is not there. Yulin. That could be a real hot drop as well. That would be very spicy because it's very difficult to play when you're trying to fight because there's lots of nooks and crannies. But yeah, I would love to see one go over to Yulin as well. But I think Neox Factory is going to be our boot camp. It's the boot camp of this map. I think we're going to see a lot of that. I would love Stadium. We haven't really seen a Stadium hot drop just yet. Teams are avoiding it just because of that roof. It's so dominating. So I would like to see somebody try and risk a fight there. We'll see.
Yeah, well, there's only going to be one way for us to find out where these hot drops will be coming in, and if any would be making their way onto the map. Of course, if you're watching, please give us your predictions, right? Where do you think the hot drops are going to be, or who do you think is going to be the team to claim the victory? Who's going to be the one to walk away with a winner chicken dinner on Rondo? If you're feeling brave, tell us, do you think if there's a team that's going to have more than 25 eliminations? Because Red River has already done it. Will we see someone beat them? Only one way to find out. We're going to have to get right down to business. And of course, if you forgot where we've been on Erangel, we've been on Miramar and Sanok. And now it is time to go rumbling around in the lovely Rondo.
It is indeed. So excited for Rondo. There's not a lot of water on Rondo, of course, so there's a lot more of that playable area going on down here. A lot of dips, a lot of high ground. There's some really open areas, but most of all, it's such a big map. So a lot of teams will be able to spread out and chill out in that mid game once they're done with all their hot dropping shenanigans. So we'll be able to see a little bit more strategy coming into the second half of the game. I think right now, in the beginning of the game, it's going to be all about just getting as many eliminations as you can. Very, very sweaty gameplay. We're going to chill out in the middle of the game, and then we're going to see it all over again in the end stages of that match coming on up as we get into Rondo. This is exactly where I was talking about. Yulin, such a difficult area to play because there's so many sneaky angles you can grab. If we see a hot drop come in from there, that would be awesome. Bamboo as well, fantastic spot for a recall. No, actually not a recall. Recall's outside of it, but that position itself is actually a really, really good one. Love to see the zone go that direction. We do not have 2 plane paths for this Rondo. We're just going to be sticking to that one, but it goes right down the center.
Yeah, it starts us off over at Tinlong Garden, and it's going all the way up to the north to Ryan. So an interesting spread here, but that is going to be Test Track and New York's Factory right smack dab in the center. So I think Hangshan or Renjiang could also be getting a little bit of attention here as well. So curious to see how these teams are going to look to get themselves situated. I mean, Jaden City also sometimes has a little bit of pressure being applied over there, but I think it is mainly determined by where that zone is going to be taking our squad. So let's see where they will have to look to rotate to. But for time being, it's going to be somewhat smooth sailing. I mean, unless, of course, it's in Hangshan, right? It is already looking pretty hot right out of the gate.
Ooh, Hangshan is such an interesting hot drop to have. It's all sort of storage buildings. There's not really a whole lot of cover you can use, and the roofs are accessible, but it looks like actually we're not going to have a hot drop there. Dang it, that was going to be really fun. But no, the zone goes far away from anybody. We're going Stadium. We're going Minhu over here. Jiaotin as well is there. Bamboo's also there if we get that little hard shift going. But my goodness me. In all my research, the zone never went to this side. And now for these teams, it goes full send south, or rather northwest side. GG there. Vancouver, a team that wanted to do really well on Rondo to actually maintain their first place lead, might just go down here. Oh, really nice stuff. The MK doing its work, but not enough. Down he goes. Dart, first to fall here, but Middlesex County, they need to be careful because that team's going to be coming on in here. They want revenge. And there we go. That's going to be...
Yeah, sorry.
Yo, no, that's gonna be them down to a solo already.
I was just gonna say I'm happy to see the teams are at least going for that 3-1 split, right?
Yes.
So they're not leaving all 4 players in one location. They are prioritizing those recalls to come through here. So quite an exciting start to the action as Canada West also now feels a lot of the pressure being brought onto them. Ooh, I like this, but can they close it up though? Canada West, where is their 4th player? Ooh, over on the opposite side of the zone. This is a slightly risky play, not even the zone, the compound. So you got to be very cautious with this one. You can see also then Seneca A, they have their reviver all the way over at the recall. Now, up in the Neox Factory, it is going to be go time as Goblin starts moving up, but instead gets gobbled up by Punk.
My goodness me, yeah. Sneaky position here from Punk, just sitting behind this old bus, unable to be heard or seen. Jonathan gonna be moving on up though, trying to get something here. Push him out with the Molotov, and now that leaves him open to being shot at from above. It isn't gonna happen just yet though. He moves around to the corner and gets third-partied. Ouch! Chow Chow gonna be taking him on out. That's gonna be Punk done. And Dustin, I think that's gonna be Seneca's hot drop run over here with Cypher already down.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we are not seeing everything, right? Maybe they can find a way to come back, because we still see there's 16 teams in this lobby, so there's still maybe a little bit of hope, right? Hopefully they were able to get that player over towards the drop where they needed them to be. Meanwhile, Canada West are going to be looking to rock up yet again. It's going to be southeastern Louisiana holding up here in Danching. So let's see, can they play it off the roofs? They are going toe-to-toe with Vancouver, who's going to be the one to pull this one out of the bag. Oh, you got to watch out because Red River is here as well. So 3 teams fighting for possession here of Danching. We've not seen all that much come through from southeastern Louisiana yet. But is this going to be that opportunity? Great opener onto God. Beautiful nade making its way all the way into there. But now they got to bounce up, right? They're going to have to try and make that play secured. I mean, if southeastern Louisiana can pull through this one, they need 1 more elimination. And then they've doubled the points that they started this match with. So let's see. Are they going to look to go full crazy mode? Sinner is down. God right next to them. So if they find it, that could definitely be on the big option for them.
It could indeed. Let's see where this nade's going to put him, though, because they know Godless is on that roof. So surely management's going to be trying to get that. Oh, drops down just in time. Oh, and he's seen him. He's seen him on the corner. Just a little bit of an overreach there. Oh, that's not good. He almost got taken out because he didn't know he was on that corner, but not to worry. We go over to Alabama. B trying to do something, gets taken out. Ty will be down and dustin'. That's going to be the first eliminated team. Canada West, UCW, able to get rid of our first team of Rondo fully after recall. So that's going to be them done and dusted. As we move back over to southeastern Louisiana here versus Vancouver. Godless, no mercy. Just the duo left standing. Not sure if they have a recall left in them yet or not. But we will see how this goes ahead. R2D are over onto the north side as well. Just maybe looking for a little bit of third party. Nice little angle from Godless here. This could be dangerous if he is spotted, but so far it is going to be an unexpected angle. As we move over to Neox. Still Neox going down, right? I mean, we got 3 teams still here. Delulu over in the corner. I'm not sure if Delulu has a recall buddy or if he's the last player standing, because he's really not trying to get into any fights here. He's letting these two duke it out here. Algoma versus one of the Senecas.
Well, let's see. Is Delulu gonna just be able to keep that distance, because it is going to be Labor moving up just alongside them, so that sneak approach might be tested pretty soon. But in the meantime, there's going to be S-Power here coming through with a bit of a spray, just trying to loosen up a little bit of the positions here onto Don G. Let's see whether or not S-Power can get that play. Just trying to kind of wrap it up, trying to get closer and closer, trying to get exact pinpoint play. Oh, meanwhile, Vancouver getting picked up in the rotation. Don G going down as well. Seneca B now holding steady with a 2-piece. Are they going to try and go for that res? We do see Blink going all the way out. Oh, yes, they're all back in the fight. Now, Alabama A, quickly doing a pickup here, getting their teammates secured before rotating further back into safety. Still have just over a kilometer to travel, so it could be quite a bit of a costly play, especially now here for Lutava, who's super low on that health bar. But we do see one of the Seneca squads not too far ahead of them as well, so there could be even more of that gatekeep being played at. Meanwhile, Red River, again, only coming through with a 3-piece here. Oh, but beautiful work being done as they do find Jonathan. 1 down, a few more to go. But Red River, they're going to have to pay attention here, because that zone is going to be starting to hurt. It's going to start hurting soon, rather, as we know, as we just hit that stage number 2.
I've seen this film before, DK. Labor. Oh, nice nade there. Gurjar now. Oh, the 1v2. Not even able to get out any sort of nades or anything. Done and dusted. Labor gonna be taking them on down out in the blue zone, but he does clean up Neox Factory. That's gonna be Red River. Ready to go, done and dusted with Neox Factory. Labor, 3 eliminations on the board. Gonna be able to stock back up immediately, but nearly 3,000 meters to zone. That is pretty rough.
Yeah, they have to they really have to get a move on here if they want to survive. Meanwhile, it's going to be Green coming through for the side of Arkansas State. We've not seen Green secure any eliminations so far today. So this could maybe be a potential opportunity for that to come through. The Lulu, unfortunate. Down they go. Out they just bled out, but a quick bit of a recall will bring them back into the fight. Now it's going to be Nobi looking to rock on up here. Oh, it is ITSV, the squad all the way from Mexico, looking to bring in the heat. They brought everything with them here. As you can see, Jeremy and Ralo just looking to clean it up. They're just securing themselves a few glorious eliminations there as well. Not quite sure if that was a squad wipe. It does seem like at least the team that they were going up against had a little bit of a backup plan.
Yes, indeed. And 3 eliminations to start off the game. Pretty good stuff coming in there. Portage over in Bailey. They're going to be over here. Big chillin'. They've got full control of this town at the moment. The thing with Rondo and the compounds that are in Rondo, right, is so often in these cities, the cities do not afford you much cover because there's large gaps in between buildings. So it really does give teams opportunities to hole up in one section of a city, but it's very difficult to actually have full control of it. So we will see how that emerges in the strategy, in the gameplay of these teams. Right now, you do see Portage having control of the recall. That's super important because it is across the road, so teams could very likely sneak up behind you and grab that recall from you. So very important to have somebody there just in case, just to protect it a little bit there. Oh, a nice little headshot, 1 HP onto Dangu, but no, there we go, another. That's 2 headshots from Burpee outside of a moving vehicle. GG.
That was a phenomenal spray. Well done. Now it's going to be the opportunity for the rest of the team to try and move in. They are going to try and leverage the edge of zone possession that they have here. But I'm not quite sure whether or not Portage are going to be too deterred by this. I mean, they are just on that very edge. Speaking about edge, though, it is going to be Canada West and ITSV both fighting out in the blue. Oh, this could be quite a bit of a costly engagement for either of these squads as Humble already goes down. Jeremy now taking several hits. Nowhere left to hide. Now it's going to be up to Kail and Ronald to see. Can they maybe piece this all back together? I don't know if it's going to be worth trying to go for the res here. Yep, that's better. Just rotate back in towards the zone, as they have just over 1.2 kilometers to go. And that is a very lengthy rotation, especially now with the shots starting to connect up into the vehicle.
Nicely done indeed. Now, can he get to a recall? That is the question. It looks like that's what he's trying to do, but it's a difficult proposition with all those walls and gadgets in the way there. We'll see if he can get something done. I mean, if you can still use a recall, it's not the worst idea to do it in the blue zone because you know you're most likely going to be safe. So not going to be a bad idea indeed as Portage move on over as well. Kent State already set up in zone. Not opting for any one of the compounds. They're looking for more of an open hill area. Yes, they do have a compound, but it's just not the city that some of the other teams are going for here. Nice little 2-2 split across the road here as they see somebody flying on in, and that's going to be UCW getting shot down. Will make it out alive though, gets up to his teammate. They're going to be going and getting out of Dodge ASAP. There we go. That's going to be them just defending their spot a little bit. Jason, 2 elims on the board for him. There is a team right below them though. Cockadlem, they've got to be careful. I'm not sure that they know that it's a thing, but Middlesex County B looking for that nade. Oh, that's well cooked as well. Is that going to find anybody? No, it's not, but it does just keep Cockadlem, or rather not Cockadlem, keeps them from just moving away, moving forward, moving away. There we go. But RRC getting taken down in the elim feed as well. Middlesex County just going to try and do something here between 2 teams.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough position to be in, but let's see. Will anything come from this, as it's now Middlesex County trying everything they can, looking for a few hits, a little bit of that follow-up. It's going to be quite a contested angle here as Arkansas State are looking to double down on the aggression, but now Middlesex just trying to play a little bit of leapfrog, right? Bringing their players back one by one. Of course, a few squads have already used up all their recalls, so they're going to have to play a lot more cautiously here. But will this be that opportunity for Burpee to not only bring their teammate back, but also just defend the edge of zone? So far, teammate could maybe get brought in here. Not quite sure how far away Pasha is, but we can see just on the edge of the north, up to the north there. It is going to be a quick little bit of that recovery now coming through. I like the reposition. Meanwhile, Seneca A also going to be making a little bit of something. Jason and the rest of Kent, all the way on that far southern side, are going to be legging it to try and get themselves repositioned and maybe a bit of that elevation as well.
Man, these mountain areas are so good for just getting as much information as possible, to having that domineering position. The pagoda here is going to be super helpful. Jason's got a great spot here. Super overlook on the rest of those like kind of lowlands below you. You got a little bit of cover. You got those rocks as well to help you in your position. Just a really, really good spot here for Jason. 6 eliminations so far on Kent's side here. As you see that going on down, Seneca B do go down. They take the L on this one. And that's going to be, oh, UCW moving on in as well now. Getting third party by Jason. He sees that particularly. There we go. And not able to get the knock or the flush on that, but definitely helping out to make that third party a failed one.
Well, I mean, it's always a good thing to help bring a stop to a bit of that third-party play. But you got to be cautious. Make enough noise and you will get third-party yourself. So you can see Jason really focus over towards the eastern side, but we do see quite a bit happening right here on the far southern side of the zone. It is going to be the bushes now. Jonathan holding nice and steady. Not looking to upset all too much just yet. But here we have it.
Wow.
Here we've got Cocket Lamb. I believe that's Cocket Lamb right over here. Sent by Enzin. Keeping it nice and quiet. Jonathan also just waiting for something. But look at that. It is going to be delete. Getting deleted as they run straight on into that spray from Senpai.
Did he not know he was there? Because 3 teams in this compound is insane. Obviously, they don't know about the solo because he's big chillin'. But did they not know that Senpai was here? Because that is a wild push to make, if so. If they did know. So I'm sure they didn't. However, that is going to be a need to flush out the knock there. So just down to a duo they go. Latava has heard something, potentially here. No, he's looting. He doesn't know. He has no idea. Maybe he's... No, he's continuing to heal. Jonathan has to hear that. It's going to push him. Excellent by Jonathan Latava. Man, Alabama just not having a good run in this compound, man. They're just unsure, unknowing that any of these teams were here.
I gotta give it to Jonathan, the most surprising player in this match so far.
True.
Right, so yeah, that was a beautiful opportunistic play coming through from Jonathan, but it might be short-lived as Jonathan now needs to get out of that compound and back into the safety of the zone.
Jason's still on this patch, on this little bit of high ground with the pagoda. The rest of his team's outside his zone, and he himself is just on the edge, but there's a big team ahead of him. He's got to make sure that he has everything he needs here. Please pick up the DSR. Come on, Jason. You know you want to. DSR is a bolt action with just a faster reload. It's great. It's a very quick weapon if you know how to use it. So go on, take it. You know you wanna. But anyway, moving over to the zone.
It's the Supreme Rifle. Yeah, it's the Supreme Rifle. That's what DSR stands for.
Yeah.
The Supreme Rifle, yes. So we got the Don't Be Silly and the Supreme Rifle. Those are the big shakers. Speaking about shaking, we do see Seneca also now starting to push up, coming through from that south-western side of the zone. Getting real up close and personal into the center. But of course, the welcoming committee is there as Kent State just locks on through that high ground position here from Jason, working out quite well. But they're going Gonna have to be really quick about it because Middlesex is also now trying to get a slice of the action over here. But, ooh, we were talking about the compound earlier, and it is now gonna be go time as everybody will have to send it. Alabama, hey! Unfortunately, not going to be able to survive the onslaught here. Red River also getting flushed away. Down they go. Let's see if Algoma can lock this one in. It's going to be Jonathan versus the world to just get out of that compound.
A big fight ahead of them. 8 eliminations, though, for Middlesex County A. Really good result coming in from them. They do have 3 left alive. They are going to get that revive. Algoma do go on out here. There's a lot of stuff happening over on the south side. Ruthless is going to go down. There's no way he can't go down here. No? I think it was a bounce. There was a big old bounce going on through, but that one's got to be the clinch. That one's got to be. Iman narrowly escapes, and somehow so does the other side there. Ruthless able to actually just push on up, and oh, look at this from Kent. I love this coming in there. Just such domination coming through here for them, DK. Good job all the way around.
Yeah, Middlesex County A doing a really good job. But you know what's also really good? That drop coming in right alongside them. So Middlesex County could definitely look to upgrade a little bit of that loot right then and there. As they have 8 eliminations, they could look to bag a little bit more. So provide a little bit of coverage, but not enough as Ruthless stays true to their name, coming in clutch here. Of course, clutching it out is going to be that lovely code pooping chicken as well, as it comes right on screen, and bloop, there we go. It is going to be the Amazon gift card, so be sure to get that code as fast as you can, because they do have a tendency to run out relatively quickly. But now the pressure is on yet again. All over the zone. It has constricted in on itself, so it is just going to look to tighten up the gameplay that we have for our 7 remaining hopeful teams here. But of course, only one of them can walk away with that winner chicken dinner. We do see flying Doritos and everything now getting deployed up in zone.
Gosh, look at just the amount of carnage going on in the south side. Just some crazy stuff happening here. Kent holding the fort. Well, not really holding the fort. They're the ones trying to demolish the fort. There we go. Cockablam eliminated with an easy nade from Ruthless there. Middlesex County over into the north side now, up against Portage. Portage, who have been big chilling this whole time. 2 eliminations so far, trying to make it a few more. Nades coming up over the top. A lot of mobility with those vehicles as well, but they just don't have the information they need. Information that looks like Lexus is trying to get for them in that vehicle. Just making the rounds, going round and round and round, trying to do something here, but not able to do much at all. Green, oh, just gets taken on down, and that's going to be Kent to pick up those eliminations. And I'll tell you what, DK, Vancouver as well, up to 7 eliminations. Another good game from them.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to double down on everything they can find here. Middlesex County B, though, can they rise to the occasion? Can they try to clutch it out? I mean, they still have 3 players in this fight. Oh, but with Burpee up on the roof, it is going to be increasingly more challenging. Pasha now having to come and play medic here, looking to find a little bit of security. Oh, but that nade, yeah, it's going to be devastating. Yeah. Down goes Burpee. This is now going to be Middlesex County left with only 2 players. It's Krish and Pasha. Pasha contributing largely to the elimination count there for the squad. Vancouver, in the meantime, they are not done just yet, but Kent has risen up to 15 eliminations.
They have indeed. Kent doing exactly what they needed to do. They've had a quieter day so far, but now we see them really start to shine, really start to show the lobby what they're made of. Vancouver as well, holding down the fort. This is exactly what I thought they would do, just waiting for that rondo after their initial massive Erangel game, and now they're just trying to keep that gap alive. Let's see if they can do that. It's still over to the north side. This fight is still going on. Ruthless, go ahead and take okay, but why? That's going to be Arkansas taken on out here, leaving us with just 5 teams left alive here. Famous goes on down here. Let's see. Krish doing something. The shots through the smoke, unable to really hit anything. And that's going to be the spray with the M4 now. And that's the sign to push. And down they go. Portage take it on out in 5th place. A fair few eliminations to boot, but still not that podium finish.
Yep, Krish crushed it. But can they now clean it up? Can they make it into the late stage? I like what Kent's doing here. Starting to move on forward. Thor with a beautiful bit of Overwatch. Finding the opportunity. Ruthless low. Gotta watch out for them pesky windows as they move up and get traded. Now, let's see. Can the rest of the team find a little bit of that comeback? It's going to be Vancouver looking to go for gold here. Sinner, unfortunately, cannot make it happen, but that is Kent State. Now up to 20 eliminations.
Wow.
There are a few players standing between them and a 22 winner chicken dinner play coming towards them. Unfortunately, not quite the 25 that we've seen in the previous match, but still 22 is a very impressive elimination count.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Can't believe we've had 3 games tonight with over 20 eliminations. 3 out of 4 as well. 75% of those matches. Quick maths coming in here. A rare quick math nocturne moment coming on in. But very, very good from all of these teams. They've done so well. And now Kent looking to close it on up. Thor being very bold there. Krish might just take advantage of that. But no. Gonna stay silent for now. And he might have wanted to maybe do something a little bit more there. Ninja, we saw that. You crashed into a tree. One of the only trees in the vicinity, and he manages to find it. But that is going to be just Kent just looking to take complete and utter control of this zone. Look at them on that mini-map, just making sure no one else can get in here. Canada West goes on out here. A lot of elims for Canada West, but again, not going to win. And there we go. Kent taken that win. The 4th win of the day goes over to Kent over on Rondo. And what a win it was, DK.
Yeah, it was quite a victory for the side here of Kent State. But you were talking about the trees and stuff. They're bumping in while they're driving. The difference here is, I think, right, they were able to still secure themselves the winner chicken dinner, right? Last time I saw you crash into a tree,
excuse you,
there was no chicken dinner in sight. Right? So, yeah, you can't really be talking about winner chicken dinners and stuff like that, or like players crashing into things. But of course, well, what we can talk about is the MVP. It is Ruthless all the way from Kent, coming through with a phenomenal 7 eliminations and 950 damage, getting very close to that bell going off yet again. But absolutely phenomenal showing here from Kent. I mean, they started the match off with 4 points, which was all eliminations, and now they've just added so much more to it. But of course, I think it would be no surprise to see Kent as our MVP as well. 22 eliminations and 3,500 damage.
Crazy work coming in here. You know what's crazy as well is to think that Vancouver, out of the 20 bombs we've had, Vancouver in Erangel is the lowest one. And at the beginning of the night, we're like, that's crazy. That's 21 eliminations in the first game. And now it's like, yeah, well, you came 3rd place in terms of the amount of eliminations, because Kent with 22 now and Red River with 25. So big eliminations coming through here. Insane gameplay from all of these teams. And just very, very exciting evening we've had here. Really gonna be excited to see that leaderboard coming on up in just a moment, because I think so many of the teams have had a lot of different results. Here we go. Let's see where we're at. Vancouver do keep their 1st place from the first game of the evening to the last. 51 points coming on in for them. Red River now in 43rd place? No, 43 points in 2nd place. Canada West able to keep that 3rd place with 39, but Kent shooting up into 4th.
Yeah, and as a result, Seneca A, who was in 4th place, is now sitting all the way down in 8th position. So a very, very exciting bit of gameplay that we had coming through. Portage moved up, Middlesex, both of them moved up. I mean, B catching up with A there. And it does seem like both teams are looking very similar with regards to those elimination counts. So quite excited to see that. It's not often that you can see the same name showing twice and almost the exact showing with regards.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the A is the one at the top, right? If not, who knows? We'll never find out because we can see it right there. It only stops halfway through the name. But yeah, Cockadam, I like what they were doing coming into the later bit of it here. I mean, they started off that match with 18 points, adding just 6 points in total to their tally. So not necessarily the craziest showing, but still managing to secure themselves place and points, managing to just keep the gap between themselves and the top 5 relatively close, right? Only 6 points to try and gain entry into the top 5. And of course, that is what these teams are going to be playing for, is a seat in the top 5.
It is indeed. So far, that's a very, very close gap. 30 to 28 is not far, and there's 3 teams at 28 points, so not too far away indeed. But not to worry, we still have a full day tomorrow to actually, do all of this again. 4 more matches coming up tomorrow, and then we will know who our top 5 is. So for all these teams, there's still a little bit to go.
Yep, still a little bit of hope, still a little bit of an opportunity, but I can tell you tomorrow is going to be pretty tough, pretty crazy, as all the teams are going to be looking to bring it in. I'm hoping that tomorrow we might see a continuation of these 30 bombs getting dropped, right? Because we don't often see 30 bombs getting dropped, not only once, but in such close succession. So 30 bombs out of the 4 matches that we've had here today. Absolutely amazing stuff. But yeah, hopefully this last day of the finals is going to be where everything will come to a beautiful conclusion.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be something else. I doubt we're going to see the extent of what we saw tonight happen again tomorrow. If it did, that'd be awesome. But I definitely think we're in for some really, really good games tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it now.
Well, of course, tomorrow will be the continuation of all the insanity. So if you've not yet clicked the link down in the description to go have a little bit of a look at the amazing devices that we saw on screen here as well, go get your hands on it, right? It's the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra. Go check it out. It is pretty awesome. It's got a whole bunch of amazing things that comes through with that. But of course, on that, we are going to be taking ourselves to the end of our show here today. I believe we are going to be ending just about, almost roundabout now. But so until tomorrow, be sure to join us back again for all the insane, sweaty action that these teams are bringing to the battlefield. Until then, see you later.